Very, very good. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Welcome to the BB Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. That's me. I break down all things Big Brother Season 24. I have a hair in my eye. Okay, it's gone. Welcome. Happy Wednesday night. Today, we are going to be talking all about the Wednesday night episode, the power of veto, and then we'll also have some spoilers for you guys. If you're joining, make sure you smash that like. Let's set a like goal for last time. You guys are killing it on the likes. I cannot give enough credit to the lean team. You guys are killing it. You're giving me 800, 900, 1,000, 1,100. Let's try for 1,200 likes. Can we do it on a Wednesday night veto episode where they didn't even tell us how the veto was used, even though I know because spoilers and obviously. But let's try it. Let's do 1,200 likes. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. We are well past our goal of 25,000. Our next goal is 30,000, which is crazy. If we hit 30,000 subscribers, that's insane. What else? Oh, if you want to support the channel while we're live, feel free to send a super chat. You can send a super thanks, which is like a super chat, but after the video posts, if you're watching this later. Hello, replay crew. You can do what Melissa did. She just joined the Lean Team membership here on YouTube. I pinned a link to that, and I also have a Patreon and Venmo, Cash App, all the stuff. Okay, we got to get into it because we have a lot to cover tonight on the Big Brother Breakdown with Joleen. Hopefully you guys also, I want to get a feel. I think you guys are enjoying my little mini spoilers I've been putting out where I go previously on Big Brother. Those have been really fun to make. So hopefully you guys are liking that because I'm going to keep making those because I'm having fun making them. So if you haven't already checked those out after this broadcast, check it out. Caramello. Chell gets his PS5 when I hit 50,000. He's in the office right now yelling. And Chell is actually, I mean, it sound bad. He's yelling at me. He yelled 50,000. We actually are going to, tonight, since Chell is not working, we have a casual corner with my husband, Chell.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. I haven't seen you since dinner, like 10 minutes ago.
I know those fried chicken sandwiches were such a long time ago.
Oh my gosh, Chell, tell everyone what you made for dinner.
Fried chicken sandwiches and some fried pickles because Joleen likes fried pickles.
I am a monster and I love fried pickles. And what did I have for sauce with it? You made the sauce?
It's just a sriracha.
Sriracha aioli?
Yeah, that's it. You just mix mayonnaise and sriracha, but you call it aioli because it makes it sound fancy.
Yeah, aioli does sound because it sounds like areola. So it sounds fun. If you guys are new to the channel or if you for some reason forgot because we have a lot of things going on in our lives and we're very busy people. Chell just knocked himself out. He quit. Chell has quit the show. This is breaking news. No, he's back. Okay. I like how your name, Chell, I think, what does your name say? Husbando? Husbando. Yeah, we call Chell the husbando. So this segment is Casual Corner with Chell. So here's the deal. My husband doesn't normally watch Big Brother. He's watched season 15 with me. Sorry about that. And really, he just doesn't watch it. Okay, I got him to watch Survivor with me. I've got him over to a lot of shows. This year, he agreed to watch a full season of Big Brother with no spoilers. So Chell is our official casual watcher. So all of you out there who don't watch the feeds, who don't like to get spoilers, Chell is you. And then I am the problematic Twitter verse of Big Brother where I got an opinion today and tomorrow it'll be different. And I know all the spoilers and I'm here to complain. Okay. I'm picking up my phone. And so Chell, I'm trying not to spoil things for him. So if you guys could not spoil things in the chat as well, that would be fantastic. And then Chell will leave after his casual corner segment where we talk about the episode and then we'll talk some spoilers. Now here and there, we might do some like personal spoilers, but not really strategic. We're going to try not to. We try to keep him as casual as possible. Right, Chell?
Right. I don't want to be more invested than I need to be.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be more invested in this than he needs to be. Oh my god. Bro, live feed without spoilers is trash. I think he said life without spoilers is trash. I don't know. Hello, Paul. Hello, everyone.
Maybe he
Joining.
thinks his life is a live feed, so that's how he refers to it. Like, my goal for my live feed is to get into school next.
Yes, speaking of which, that is where Dreamsketcher asks, how's the nursing going? And Chell is actually preparing to go into a program.
I'm not preparing to go into. I haven't been accepted to a program. I have to take the GRE, and then I can apply for programs. Is what the next step is. But at the end of the year, I'll have 2,000 hours of patient care experience. And like I was telling my mom yesterday, I'm so glad that I ended up going in that direction, stepping past my discomfort zone and figuring out a lot about myself and the healthcare system as a whole. And it's been a really eye-opening experience. Sometimes very hard and sometimes like very fun. So I'm very happy that I went in that direction.
Chell is perfect. We're so proud of him because you're perfect for the medical field because you're kind and empathetic. And he's obviously he's a comedian. So he brings the laughs even, and people need laughs, when you're
feeling down. What if this is like my anti-personality? Like at work, I'm just a hard ass. I'm like, you better get to bed.
Oh my gosh. So yes, take the GRE and then we have to, well, I say we because we're married. Apply to.
We do go together. I have to put you're part of my application process. We'll bring wife with me wherever I go.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So then he'll apply to PA schools, and we'll go from there and see what happens. See what
happens. Yep.
So there you go. You might see Chell one day. It might be Dr. PA Chell. Because if you're a PA, you're technically not
you're not a doctor, and don't ever get those confused because the doctors will get mad at you.
Yeah, because you're like a doctor light. A diet doctor.
You're an assistant to the doctor. That's what
you're like a diet Dr. Pepper.
No doctor in the title at all. Doctors will get mad at that.
Okay. Well, you are okay. I get it. Well, I saw a PA, a physician's assistant.
They go through like 10 years of schooling. Well, depending on the path they go. So it's like 4 years, right? 2 years in classroom, 2 years in the field. And then they have to do like a fellowship where it's basically like an internship, wherever direction they head from that.
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Well, I saw a PA dermatologist and she was fantastic and I loved her and she's my new favorite. And she told me that I don't need Botox. And then I got this cream to, keep prepping my neck, but she refused to give me Botox. And what's the other thing? Restylane? Put me to rest. I don't know. But I was like, oh my God. Once the dermatologist told me that, I was like, no one can tell me shit forever. She just said that I look good. All right. Let's get into it. Hi, Tilly. Producer Tilly. Chell just laid on my notes from the episode. Can I have my notes? Thank you, Tilly.
She said no.
So sorry. Okay. So episode 17. I can't wait to get Chell's casual perspective. We start the episode with it's the end of nominations. So Taylor has made her nominations. There's hugs and DRs. However, Sweet Tea Terrence says, no hugs for me, guys, because he's been on the block 4 times and he's over it. Now, I'd like to know how you feel about someone saying they don't want to hug once they're put on the block.
I think anytime you practice any antisocial behavior within the game, you're just basically going home next. You're making yourself a bigger target than you need to be. So like, even if you were like, oh, I hate this feeling, you have to hug because it's like, it's tradition, once the nominations are over, everybody hugs. But if you don't hug, then it's like, what's up with that guy? He's being such a jerk right now. If anything, if I was mad at the house, I wouldn't shower for like a week and then nobody would want to hug me because it's smelly. But really, I'm just doing this to piss all of you guys off.
I think you make a great point. Also, I think you really don't have to hug. I mean, I guess like sportsmanship or whatever, but you know what? This is a game for $750,000. I think you can still be sportsmanlike and be like, hey, I'm put on the block. As much as Terrence isn't my favorite this season, I do respect that he's like, I don't want to hug people. I wouldn't want to hug people either.
I think the hug is just a part of the process. Kind of like when you play football and people slap your butt, it's just like, not everybody does it, but there's going to be people who slap your butt. Like, good job. So
how did that ever become a thing? Slapping butts.
I think someone was attracted to someone else on the football team. And then they're like, I'm just going to touch it once. And then he was like, whoa, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm saying congratulations. I'm sorry.
You football players, you are a bunch of horny Kyles. That's what you are, Chell. All the football players are a bunch of horny Kyles. So
that makes sense since football plays only last up to 10 seconds.
Dude, can't be doing this. Like, get away from me. I know it's bad for my game, but she's so attractive and we get along great and gosh, I'm just too horny, dude. Don't air that.
I had to tell Chell about the 10-second man. I don't want no 1 minute man. Ring up, show me what you want, because I don't want no. Was it 1 minute man? Was that the song?
No, it's Short Dick Man.
Oh yeah, but that's eeny weeny, teeny weeny, shriveled little short man. Don't want. But there was a song that was bring me up, because I don't want no 1 minute man. But he's a 10-second man, so I had to tell Chell that. I mean, there's more I want to tell him that I might. So, but listen, he has had he lost his V card. Technically, well, in the house.
And he found it. Then he found it, and then he lost it again.
And then he, but this is his third
so
penetration.
he found it again. He found it a second time, and then he lost it again. So good for him.
Well, good for him. Sexy D said that's a song. Let's just talk about that real quick, you guys. It's not like, I mean, if you're a casual, maybe plug your ears. But I did tell Chell that, Alyssa and Kyle are now doing it not well.
You said it was on the have-nots room on a pool floaty. So
yeah, it was on the butterfly one.
And then I said, squeak, because I imagined the floaty making squeaky sounds.
Yes, Missy Elliott's song. I knew it was a banger. It has to be Missy Elliott. She's the best. Okay, so they're doing it.
And then I said, don't judge Kyle on the length of his stay because, sometimes that's just not the fun of it. It's also you get to do other stuff.
But I don't think
you said
doing
he doesn't do other stuff. So that's all. Kyle's a bad lover. Let it be known. Hashtag that. Kyle's the bad lover.
I mean, I can't say for sure because I haven't watched the full coital to completion. I've seen them kissing, rubbing. Yeah, I haven't. It wasn't like a Jackson, Mickey, and Holly where I saw everything.
Well, they were pointing it at every camera, so I mean, you couldn't leave.
They were talking during it. She took a sip of water while they were doing it, and it was from behind. And it was just, I'll never forget this on TV. Who does?
Hey, it's important to hydrate yourself. You don't want to cramp up, and then you got to stop. It's like you gotta keep going. But who was Holly with at that time?
Jerkson. Remember Jackson Mickey?
I feel bad because I think with BB, there's only been so many house guests, so you compare them. Jerkson was like the forever man. He just kept going, right? Because they would do it all the time.
Yeah, he was longer than 10 seconds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if she's getting water, she's obviously parched from the experience. It's lasting.
He was carrying on a conversation.
I don't drink water in a workout after 10 seconds. I'm usually like 5 minutes in before I get my swig on, like
me and Chell wear those hats where they have.
Yeah, we wear the beer hats with water.
Because we're really big on hydration.
Yeah. Are you ready for tonight, babe? I'm ready. Let's strap it in.
I'm ready. This is fun. But yeah, I mean, this Alyssa's she barely gets to take a breath, and it's over for her. And he keeps saying, "I'm sorry," because apparently it's still being 10 seconds.
But maybe it's good that way for her because maybe he's like totally uncomfortable, So she's like, "Oh, good, it's done. Thank God."
Because he's uncomfortable or she's uncomfortable.
She's uncomfortable, because from what I've read on Reddit and what we've talked about, and I think other couples is like penetration isn't everything, right? So like maybe it's really uncomfortable for her, and 10 seconds is like, oh, this is why I want to marry this guy because it doesn't last that long. If that's whatever I have to deal with, I'll be great with this.
Maybe she has, some condition or something. I mean, there's lots of things, not to make fun of anything, because maybe. Oh, and also, having the TV cameras there, having cameras there, people watching it all the time.
Makes it go faster.
Yeah, it makes her maybe be like, it's okay, but definitely when they get out of this house, she is going to want him to practice. And what I don't get is
to practice.
or do a little pregame,
Kyle,
bro.
I need you to go home and I need you to start practicing. This is lasting too little for me. And you're in the big leagues now, and you're hitting like a little leaguer.
This isn't T-ball. I can't hold it for you. You know?
I need you to grab some Vaseline, get in that batting cage, and you got to crank out at least till you get 400. Okay.
I just imagine he's just like, you have to do it all. I don't even know where it goes. And then she has to like put the ball on the tee and do the swing, everything.
Maybe that's what Kyle's thing is, though. Maybe he's such a voyeur. I mean, he's constantly on TikTok. Like, that's what gets him going. You know, he's like, yeah, people are watching, you know?
It's a lot. They're a mess, Chell. They're a cringe man's. It's not.
Well, I was telling you, and you haven't told me anything other than that. Spoilers. I cannot wait till Alyssa goes home and then there's like a breakup between them. You know, until I see you in the jury house kind of thing, because that's when the drama is really going to happen. So I'm waiting for that. That's what I'm waiting for. Good old drama.
Good old drama. I mean, that would be a dream for me. I mean, I know for my own game, which I know I'd be horrible at this game, but what I would definitely do is, what did I say today, Chell? If somebody walks in and they even give each other the sex eyes or smoochy eyes, I'm cutting them. I'm cutting them.
Yeah,
okay?
yeah. You like relationships, get your life vest.
Yeah, showmances, grab a life vest because I'm going to drown you both. Like, I'll take them out. The minute I think taking showmances a week is too long. You got to break that stuff up. In the history of Big Brother, a lot of people forget showmances make it far a lot of times. And also,
I think America wants a gay man's. That'd be great. I'd love to watch that. That'd be awesome.
I'd say, I mean, I would too, but I think some of the casuals wouldn't like that. But I think people forget that when you're playing this game, you know, and you're an alliance, there's no greater alliance a lot of times in this game than the penetration alliance. And once they're like hooking up and fully going all the way, these people they'll screw their whole game over for that. And they fall in love. And once love gets in the way, I mean, Alyssa's already like, I love him. America, I love him. I know he's 30 and he lives with his mom. He does shirtless thirst trap TikToks with her and he lasts 10 seconds in bed, but I love him. And I know he wants to segregate the house. Okay, you don't know about that. Never mind.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, we'll just pretend I didn't say that.
Let's go back to the episode.
Yeah, thank you, Dave, for the super chat. I take back defending
Dave.
Kyle, but he is a saint compared to Jackson Mixie. I like how you call him Jackson Mixie. And pretty much everyone in the Jackson season. Okay, so we don't want to.
I think Jackson's that bad guy, right?
Jerkson, who
yeah,
ate all the watermelon.
I think he lowered the bar completely, and so now everyone's like, "Well, at least it's not bad as Jerkson." When we should all be like, "No, that should never.
That's the lowest."
Be compared to the lowest. You have to have like standards for how you treat people, and like Jerkson was the ultimate, like, not a good person. So. And
even if you're like a person that's like, I don't care how people treat people, he also wasn't a good sport, and he also broke the rules of the game. You know, and they had to change a lot of things because of him, and it was pretty awful. But
I'm gonna get my mom to start writing letters to the hospital. Right? My son won't work all 12 hours, but you need to pay him for those 12 hours. Maybe you can work for like 2 or something.
Well, and he was in a showman's, and he took the showman's to the end, and that's what happens a lot of times. Who's penetration? Well, she is someone who is playing a big role in this season now. Okay,
she shows up every season.
Yep, she is America's least favorite player. If there's America's favorite player, she's America's least favorite. Because I'm not against watching a little bit of that, but I maybe when I was younger, I enjoyed, because I remember thinking, oh, these are entertaining. Like Rachel and Brendan were entertaining because they were a mess, but it was a different kind of mess. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it was because I was younger.
The same mess. I think it's the same mess.
It's probably the same, but
that's why I want Alyssa to be on the block, so that way it's like a mess again. Give me some drama. Drama.
I like how Tickled Pig's like, why isn't the feeds showing the sex? The feeds aren't the feeds are definitely protecting, and the episode's protecting a lot of stuff too. But
so maybe other people are having sex, but we don't know.
I don't think anybody else is, but we'll see. Thank you so much, Panther Plays. I honestly wouldn't have minded if Kyle left last week instead of Daniel. Yes, I said that too, and that's saying something. I despise Daniel's gameplay. I despise how he acted. I despise how it seems he's kind of acting outside of the house. But it would have been really, really interesting to see.
Why does everyone get mean when they're like about to leave the house? That's what I don't understand. Like, we all have to remember this is a game, but like with Terrence going back to the episode being like, yeah, fuck this. I don't want to hug anybody. You know, like everyone just feels so like
they get bitter, they get mad,
bitter,
they get, why is it me? How dare people do this to me? I'm the best, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Terrence, no hugs. Then Terrence and Taylor talk. And then they're up in the HOH room and Terrence is like, am I effed? And she says, no, you take yourself down and win the veto. Okay, so Taylor lies to Terrence because she's got her eyes set at this time on Terrence. And she's like, you're a pawn. And then Terrence walks out and he's like, I don't believe her. Okay, because he thinks, just like Daniel said, that Monty and Taylor are working together. They are working together. Okay, Terrence, but it's too late. You played too dumb. And now you didn't set yourself up at all. I don't know what Terrence was doing. He was just coasting along until someone put an idea, being Daniel. I have no idea what he was doing. He was just, a lot of people have been describing it as he was yes-anding everybody. Because in every conversation it was like improv. He was like, yes. And I agree that was yes, and she's a bitch, or yes, and she's a streetwalker, yes, and I'm going to do that same thing. And you're just like,
I just feel like maybe Terrence was on the outside, you know, because you have the leftovers and they're all together. But like Terrence is kind of like the like game outcast, not like
the old guy.
Because so like, and when Daniel started giving him attention, he was like, "Oh yeah, this is great. Yeah. Let's do this. I'm on your team now." You know, because someone's actually talking game to him, you know.
The crazy thing was Monty talked to him, but he couldn't stand Monty. And it could have, and I thought at first it was maybe because Monty had such a dislike for Taylor that was completely unwarranted, as we saw early in the season. Because
you saw what Taylor did to Pomona. So
Pomona, Paloma. Yes, I mean how awful Taylor was to Pomona, right? But then now I'm like, go Monty. I never thought that day would come. So I thought, well, maybe he's doing it because he really likes Taylor. And I thought him and Taylor had a great rapport. And then he's like, no, I hate Taylor. And I was like, and then I thought he really liked Nicole. He's like, Nicole can get it. She can suck it too. But he ended up really liking Daniel. I think it's because he just didn't have anybody else. And Daniel could talk about old music with them because he's, in, like I say, in Big Brother world, Terrence is like 97 years old.
That's true. That's sad.
So Pomona represents.
Go Pomona.
Yeah, he would make little snide comments behind Monty's back, and he still does. So
I think though, like coming off of from Sunday's episode to today's, it just feels like Taylor's HOH is very messy. At least that's what I'm getting from the casualness of it. It feels like she's unwilling to draw lines in the sand. And it's like, I feel like this HOH was a chance to get like retribution for like all this stuff that's ever happened to her with certain people that have disrespected her. And she's really just trying to like walk on, it feels like nails, like it just feels messy because I feel like if she just would have made very distinct choices in towards of like, well, I want to get rid of Terrence and I want to get rid of another person that I don't like, it just would have been so much better. But it just feels like the way it's edited, and I don't know if this is different for everybody, but it feels like it's just so wishy-washy. Like she makes this ideas and then like she'll go back on it. And then, she made promises to other people and then she has to go back on it. It just feels like, a little messy for like, as a HOH, because you want the HOH to be like Michael had like this clear plan of like, this is what we'll do. And like, it felt like even the week before with Monty, it was like, well, I guess this is what we have to do because given the situation. And then when Daniel gave him an opportunity, he was like, all right, well, cool. If that's what you want
to take it.
Yeah.
So interesting you say that because that's where the edit is different for casuals. Because if you're watching the live feeds, you will see that, yes, her HOH isn't fantastic. I mean, promising safety to a bunch of people, but the changes in nominations isn't just Taylor up there spinning around. A lot of people are like, oh, she's being petty. This is a big portion of the leftovers pushing her in certain directions. Taylor wanted Terrence. It was going to be Terrence. Then they pushed for Indy, well, I can't tell you the rest. So, but I will say that because this is casual corner, I don't want to ruin anything. There are a lot of the leftovers, but they're giving again in the edit. It like Taylor is just like, oh, I'm petty. Like I'm going to go after Alyssa now because of this, when really the leftovers have been pushing her toward like maybe indies. And we saw a little bit of that. And then also with the Alyssa thing as well.
Yeah. And I think that's why the HOH is so wishy-washy. She's obviously taking all this information, and rather than making clear, distinct decisions on what she wants, she's like trying to please everybody. And that's my issue with Taylor, is that I think that she's grown up to be like, you got to be liked by everybody, do your best to be liked by everybody. And what we're finding out in this game specifically is like, not everybody's going to like you. So why should you try to appease them?
And they don't deserve you.
No, they don't. They've been, mean to her from an outside perspective. But I just feel as though, I think a lot of Taylor's, hurdles are like, I did say to this person that, I wouldn't do this. But it's like, ultimately, when you join the leftovers, you join a group of people who just had your back completely. And because of that, I think that you should just honestly maybe make your best decision within like, well, what's going to help this moving forward so that we can keep this going? Because I think before the leftovers, Taylor was just kind of like on her own, eating Lay's chips all over the place.
Yeah, she was completely alienated, ostracized. I don't even think she was on to Lay's chips yet. I mean, it was just really bad. She was literally telling people, hi, everywhere I go, people leave. I'm all by myself. Can you be by me? And so it was bad like that for a while. But I will say that it is a lot. It isn't just Taylor being messy. It's a lot of the leftovers there's a lot of messiness going on that we'll see. But let me I just want to read this quote from Taylor that she was saying to Brittany. It doesn't really give anything away, but it does explain a little bit of maybe the things that we don't see and how interesting it is to watch this game, and how really we should all be sponges absorbing everyone's experiences, especially the experiences of people who are underrepresented in this game, like Black women. So Taylor said to Brittany today on the feeds, she said, I'll never forget Kyle telling me, what if we are eliminating a really nice girl? Who gets the benefit of being a really nice girl? It's not me. It's not people in this game like me. So I think that to me, the way she said it and the conversation and the context is Taylor has a very good understanding of all the misconceptions and microaggressions that have been pushed on her, whether in this house. I mean, she doesn't know all of them yet, in this house or in the real world. So there's a certain luxury that women like myself get or privilege, if you will, when you go in the house, you could be perceived as that, oh, maybe we're just getting a really nice girl, where I think for a lot of women of color, Black women, especially in the United States, they don't get that same luxury. Someone tweeted today like, oh, we love an ice queen, just not a Black woman when she's an ice queen, because we'll love Janelle. Janelle can be an ice queen and we will love her. But if Taylor isn't, and that's not, but that it's not necessarily the viewers, but it's also people in the house too.
I just think you have to be likable. I mean, remember New York from Flavor of Love? Like, she was ice queen, but like everyone,
she was not ice queen.
Like, she was awesome. Like, no, she was. Remember, like at the last, I think it was the first love show she had. Like, basically,
I love New York.
Yeah, the two guys, and then the other guy. She like chose one, and she was like, I don't know if I really want this. And then like she blew up and she was like, I'm the HBIC. Like, obviously there is a want for that type of like person, but I just think you have to be super likable, and not everybody is. Like, I couldn't go on TV and be mean to people because it just feels so outside of like.
You spoke of that too. Like, you yourself have told me previously that, you feel like you do, or you understood that even at a young age, like you had to be even nicer, just being like,
I feel like in society, I have to make myself smaller than what I am, but that's just what I've come to know as what works for me and keeps me safe. So like any type of confrontation, I stay away from. And even when you get confrontational with people, I'm just like, just let it go. There's no reason to like stand up and make a point if, like.
Because the stakes might be worse for you. So me doing something, what I've learned in our relationship is me doing something that I might think as a white lady, hey, you know what I mean, might actually get you in more trouble, because I could do something and then you, as like a brown man in America, then you get blamed or arrested or something like that. So I think I've seen how privilege works in that way, where I don't feel, I guess as a woman, sometimes I feel like, especially as an outgoing woman, I feel like I have to make myself a little bit, because if you are too outspoken, you're kind of like, you're a bitch, you know.
I think that that's like personal relations with people who don't understand you, them thinking that you're a B because you were, you know, upfront, assertive. But I just, you know, for me, it's like, I'd rather live to see another day than to get in a fight. And I think the big issue here is that when you bring me into it, specifically when you're getting into confrontation, I think that ups the stakes for whoever like is being challenged, right? Because if you're yelling at another woman and you're saying, well, my husband, and then I come in, I'm like this taller guy that's like, okay, how do we break this
full
up?
Disclosure, I would never get in a fight with a woman and say, my husband.
But if you fight with another man, like he does something and then you say, well, my husband, well, then a 6'2" guy walks up and then it's just like, it escalates. And I'm just like, I just don't want it. You know, like
like when we ran into my uncle that I don't like at the fair, and then he saw how tall you were and he was like,
well, yeah. And that's like, I don't like being in that position, because then it puts me at, you know, could put me in terms of like violence. Cause like your uncle could have sucker punched me at any time, you know, like I'm not saying he would have, but like if people feel scared enough to react, they would rather react first than, you know, second and get demolished or whatever, you know. Like I just think that ultimately I'd rather just walk away because I get to live another day rather than like,
it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Maria's saying that is exactly what Taylor feels. She's making herself small to protect herself, because any kind of thing she does, whether she puts on a dress, tries on a dress on, you know, that she's going to wear at finale, which everyone's going to finale, doesn't mean you're going to be in the final two, but even the people that didn't make it to jury will be at finale somehow, whether it's zoomed in or in person. Then they made a big deal out of that, and there's just other things that I don't want to say because it'll spoil stuff, but I do agree that strategy wise, what we saw in this episode, Taylor is not killing it. Joseph's plan to put himself up
is dumb,
was so stupid.
Yeah.
Chell doesn't look tall. He's like 6'1", 6'2". He's 6'2".
Well, I think with Joseph, he was just trying to help someone he really liked, right? And so, like, it was more of like an olive branch of like, hey, I feel like you've backed yourself up into a corner. Let me help, you know? And I think, like, what the thing about Michael and what everyone should realize is anytime you're on the block, like, there is a possibility of you going home. Like, you should never feel comfortable, and you should never go to the HOH of like, yeah, I'll go up, you know, because then like even Michael and Brittany were like, hey, if he goes up, what do you think? Like, you know, like, this could be the end of the that alliance because of a situation like that. So
yeah, just like Ty saying, when will these people learn that volunteering to go up is awful? It is awful.
I think if this season specifically, like if you're giving your final two speech, whatever that may be, anytime you say like, hey, I volunteered myself to go on the block so that you know, I would be like, well, that was a dumb move. I would count that against you rather than it being like something that is like helpful to you as like, I should be the winner kind of thing. So
I completely agree with you. I'd be like, oh, so you're just like stupid
in
this game.
So the only thing you could do is not win any comps. It's just volunteering yourself to be used. Like to me, that doesn't scream Big Brother winner.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because Joseph is not stupid at all, but a lot of these, I mean, it's Big Brother. They've been in the house. We thought 24-year-old Joseph versus 25-year-old Joseph, like once he hit 25, he was like, boom. But he definitely still has moments where I'm like, oh yeah. And a lot of these people, as much as they say like tonight's edit was like, Alyssa, I'm a super fan. Girl, there is no way you're a super fan, and we will talk about that.
Yeah, I think Alyssa taking that gift away wasn't so much of like, I wanted to do this, because it's like you're the third person on the thing. Someone else is going to take it. They'll be last or whatever. I feel like she just really doesn't like Taylor, and it was just like shown like really like how can I take something from Taylor so that she doesn't have it because I don't like her, right? It's like if Taylor was eating a cupcake and there was no more cupcakes left, I feel like if she put it on the thing, Alyssa would come and take it just because she knows it's Taylor's, right?
Yeah.
But I will say from a boy, like I'm throwing it in perspective from Kyle.
Throwing it in,
like,
okay.
Yeah. I feel like he should have took the trip back away from, I think Jasmine had it last, so that he could be like, hey, I'll take you, Alyssa. You know, that
smooth.
But I think he was just like, oh, good. I'm not going to be in any trouble if I mean, you're not going to take the veto, so it's not like a big deal. So like, I just think he messed up there, and he would have got some cool boyfriend points if he would have done that. So
yeah, that was so dumb in the position, like you're saying that she's in, having a talk with the HOH, saying like Taylor saying, you know, I wanted you to win this, use this to take Indy off. Also for Alyssa's game overall, that would have been good for her because she's not in the leftovers, you know, so or at least like trying. And if she would have gotten the tether punishment, she would have loved it because then she would have been just tethered to probably Kyle the whole time. So but
Kyle didn't want that, remember, because they cut to DRs.
He is such a liar. He wants that. That's the thing we see. We're seeing.
We don't need to use chains. I'll just use my wiener.
So I think that was really stupid. I think you make a great point. She definitely is very jealous of Taylor. She's never going to let it go. Every episode we see her take a knock at her. If you watch the feeds, you see it too. But last episode, it was that's enough when she literally won HOH and had this moment that doesn't happen a lot in Big Brother in recent years, where you have someone who was so on the bottom of the game, then rise to the top of the game. And it was a monumental moment. So I think you're right about that. I will say the leftovers as a whole, someone put on here, it's Jen, leftovers are making too many house guests feel safe. I think you're 100% right. Now, if they are basing their strategy off the cookout strategy of last season, why not just each of them get assigned to their person? You know what I mean? And then you take them out strategically as you go down the line. I realize that it's a little different because they don't have like a greater purpose like the leftovers or like the cookout did, where they were like, just one of us has to win. We have to make history, you know? But it would have been nice to at least attempt that. But I feel like they're messy where it's like, well, I want all three of these people to feel like I'm on their side. Well, I want all four of these people. And then it's just like, you are over promising and under delivering. And we're at jury now, and jury management.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So Taylor talks to Indy in the HOH. Taylor says if she wins the POV, she'll pull Indy down. She's lying. I'm not letting a girl go out on my HOH, she says. Joseph, Indy, Alyssa talk in the Jetson room with Jasmine as well. And Indy's like, I don't trust her. And they have this new fake alliance called the Five Shitters. And Joseph is being a double agent, but Jasmine thinks she's the one that's getting information from Joseph about the other side, when really he's getting it from them. She's like, we're going to use her, like, we're going to use Joseph to get him, milk Taylor like a cow for information. And I'm like, oh my God. She's like, Joseph, you need to get your head in the game. You get your head in the game. Joseph is not the brightest bulb on the barn. I'll tell you that. I heard
Jasmine's final two was with her cane. So hopefully
she does not need the cane anymore.
Everybody votes the cane as the winner.
Speaking of that, Ballistic said, what's Chell's take on Jasmine's injuries? Is she faking it, Chell?
I think she is. I mean, it's like I think she sees as an easy way of not doing like crazy intense stuff. I mean, it was funny seeing Sunday's episode, and she's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And she was like down after like 2 minutes or 4 minutes or whatever.
She's like, are the cameras off? I'm done. And then that damn cane. And then sometimes you'll see her hustling, you know, and she forgets. And then if she's pissed, like she will walk away on the feeds really fast. And you're like, damn, what's going on? But then sometimes she's like, with her cane and the boots.
I think they should make a challenge with like muffins, and maybe she'll like actually drop the cane and actually outperform everybody.
I mean, you never know. This is just taking forever. Okay, so Jasmine thinks Joseph's a dum dum, and she's got a little crunch on him. Did I tell you that before? She got a little crunch on him.
Everyone has a crunch on Joseph. He's walking around with his shirt off, all muscular.
I know he is so muscular. It's like because Monty's muscular, but Joseph is like cut.
Yeah. Well, Joseph's the type of person that's like, oh, are we just gonna lay in the grass? Cool. I'll just do my core workout while I'm laying here.
Well, he's the one who said, he said he's a whatever you call it, trainer, when he's really a lawyer or practicing. I don't know, but I don't know much about his lawyering, what kind of lawyer he is or anything. But Monty he's a muscle lawyer. Yeah. He defends big steroids. He defends big creatine companies. But Monty was having like Terrence. He's been working Terrence out and working Alyssa out. They're doing like deadlifts, and they both.
Oh, way to go, Terrence!
But they both hurt their back with Monty.
Did he do like a heavy weight? Is that why, or do you think they faking it?
I think they were trying to like, I can do it, and he's like, you don't have, I don't think it's Monty's fault.
Yeah, he did too heavy of a weight. That's like a guy thing where it's like, I used to lift this in high school. I'm 48 now, but I could still do it. Just easy, and then
pretty much.
And then they're like twisting their back as they're lifting it.
Exactly, like doing it all the wrong ways. Like I could still remember when we went to the batting cage. I was like, I played fast pitch like my whole life.
Was you.
and then I hurt my back because I was like,
you were out for like a week.
Out because I was like, oh shit, these balls are coming out faster.
Do the slow one. I just want to hit balls. You don't have to show off to me or anything.
And I was like, I'm showing off to my husband. I thought it would make you horny like Kyle, but instead you were just worried about my safety.
Yeah.
Joseph reports immediately back to Taylor and says, what they were talking about when he was with Jasmine and
I appreciate you going through the notes of the episode, but like I know we're 40 minutes in, and I know some people here are dying to get your live feed take about what's happening.
Oh, but I really enjoy speaking with you. I think people just enjoy you more.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, everybody. But I have ADHD when it comes to Big Brother.
You just want to go work out. It's your sprint day.
It is sprint day. But I'll probably leave at like after you're done with your live or something. I don't know. Okay. What I want to say is that, I think that the episode ended off with like the idea that Taylor might go after Alyssa, which as a casual, very excited for. But I think ultimately I wish as a casual, I wish this was the redemption arc that we all wanted Taylor to have, which is to be that like, yeah, you're out of here. And I don't care what anybody says, because that would be awesome. But
because nobody cared when she was up or that she was up all those times. They didn't care.
Yeah. And I don't want her to get rid of Terrence because Terrence is not good at comps. So it feels like
you watch him tonight? He was great.
And it was it's a waste of he's great at fashion in the comps like tonight's, but overall, just not a good I mean, the thing about like this guitar comp, I will go back to saying, is that like Jasmine was the smartest one who played it because like there was a point where someone got 0 points and then they tried to throw the ball as far as they could when they could have just got 1 point like right in front of them. And like Jasmine actually thought about this and was able to do that. So like to me, that just says like Jasmine should be on the block. She's good at comps and like someone else.
She's not, I mean, as much as she's like, I mean, she's not the best socially, but she's not a dummy. And I mean, she was working smarter, not harder for sure. Yeah. I think she's perfected that. She's got everyone in that damn house so afraid not to bring her a sandwich or pick up her napkin when she drops it or make her food. Like literally, Joseph had to say, her foot is hurt. She can make a PB&J just because it hurts her. I don't have to make her a PB&J anymore, but she's got that house doing this stuff for her. So
she's working smarter, not harder. That's what she's doing.
Smarter, not harder. Yeah. Yes, their outfits were provided for them. Okay, so we'll get into that. So that's when they bring up the stuff about putting Alyssa up as or they talk about putting Alyssa up as a replacement.
Because Taylor, even when she was holding the London thing, she's like, I know you're thinking about it, but I can still put people up on the block. So
yeah, she's like, she warned her, like, I am still the HOH, and if I can, I'm going to pick the replacement nom. So don't take my trip. So we have this whole competition. Kyle's doing well. They're all dressed up like, but I mean, here, I'm going to transfer just a couple pictures over because they did freaking Terrence so dirty again. He gets done dirty all the time. I mean,
but he's been dirty, you know, like if he's been done dirty, I think it's okay to do that because he's been dirty, you know, like he's been I guess it's hard because I could see that you see him at least trying. Like, it's not like he's such a floater that he just sits around and like, you know,
no, he thinks he thought he was running shit. He was like, honey, I am doing the damn thing, but
I think Alyssa made that move because she was like, oh, Taylor's happy. What can I do to make Taylor not happy? And then she took
100%.
Yeah, she took the
because there was, like you said, there was more prizes coming after. There was cash coming after and stuff. And, you know, I mean, not that she would have gotten that, but
I think the best move since Kyle won the thing would have been better if he just would have took the trip from Jasmine and then gave it back to Taylor as a sign of like, hey, don't get rid of Alyssa this week. We're totally cool.
Right?
It was a mistake, right? But I would be
happy. Digging.
Yeah, she does. And I think like the hard part about it is that even if Kyle did that, like Alyssa would just be like so mad at him just for helping.
She'd be like,
Taylor.
Why would you do something that helped Taylor? Does that mean you love her? Yeah. I'm not jealous. I'm not like a jealous person. It's just like how we are in Sarasota.
I kind of am thinking that Alyssa's going to get pregnant and Kyle is going to be Kyle's baby. And Kyle's going to be like, they're going to like break up after like the baby's 2 or something.
Oh, I hope not. That would be horrible for the babes. But I mean, that it only takes 10 seconds. Okay. Yeah. It only does take, you know, all the he's
Alyssa
given.
Looks like an elf. She's got the pointy ear. It looks like she's got a pointy ear.
She does. She looks like the Lord of the Rings elf people.
Yeah. She does.
Like Liv Tyler was one.
And
they were like
Taylor's
the prettiest in Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh, you like that? You like holding that London thing? You're gonna love holding an eviction.
Yeah, I hope you like holding it on the block. Did you know it's Jasmine's birthday week? Everyone named 2 things you love about her. Oh, we're getting to that, Dave. We are getting to that. I need to do like a full separate video reenactment of that, Chell, because it is Jasmine's birthday weekend.
Why is everyone afraid of Jasmine? Is it because she's the type of person that if she doesn't get her way, it just like there'll be chaos in the house? Like she'll get upset and just like, are you placating her because you just don't want drama in the house? Is that the reason?
I guess. I mean, according to Jasmine, she is delightful. I don't worry about much. I mean, I don't even care. I'm like some butter. I'm smooth as butter. I don't really. But I think the rest of the house, like Alyssa, is supposed to be one of her best friends, but she acts like she's damn terrified of her. And I think that's just how Alyssa rolls when she's with Kyle. She plays it up. But I just think you have a house, as we've seen, even when Daniel Tiger came at Taylor, nobody really said anything. So you have this social game, you have this house where if you stand out in a fight, you might become the target. You also have, you know, some more passive people. So I don't really know, but I would not be making that lady anything. I swear I'd be like Turner. I'd find my way out of doing anything to help her because she will like
I would make her a plan on how to help herself.
Right?
Of like how to make
I would create one of those you know, like those sticks you can use that have the things at the end to grab stuff when you're injured.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
I would find stuff in the house and find some tape, ask the DR, or I'd ask the DR to get her one of those so she could just stretch Armstrong and make herself some damn stuff. But yeah, she's pretty ridiculous. I think she's just used to being pampered. I think seems like she has a husband who kind of does that for her. Yeah. So she's a princess in her own mind, you know? Okay. So there we go. The London is calling. She takes it. Like you said, Kyle wins the power of veto. Jasmine comes in second with her working smarter, definitely not harder strategy. I'm surprised she didn't ask someone else to throw it for her. Like, can you toss this for me. And so, I mean, she did do that herself, but I'm trying to get to this Terrence. But Terrence, I mean, oh my God, they did Terrence so dirty with this. What? Oh, poor Terrence. I mean, this outfit.
I feel like there was more to the outfit, but he like was like, I'm not going to do it. So it's an incomplete outfit.
It was just tragic.
Like maybe
kingdom.
they had like some type of like mohawk that he's like, I ain't gonna wear this shit, or like some black lipstick that he was like, fuck this, you know. And so like maybe his outfit, so maybe his outfit was just incomplete, and that was part of the reason it looked so bad.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like for real. Like, remember Gwen Stefani wore a similar outfit, like with like Tragic Kingdom. But this literally looks like tragic. Super tragic. And then you have Turner was actually like rocking the lipstick. I was thinking Turner probably, I would see him in his outside life.
I want him with black eyeliner though. I just think it would have been better.
You did say that. You go, why isn't anything in his eyes? Wasn't it any mascara?
It just looks so weird with just lipstick.
Yeah, put a little more into it. But I mean, the whole episode with Terrence was just like, oh no, Terrence.
He's sending, please send help vibes.
Yeah, you're like this poor guy. I mean, between him and Indy, it was just like.
You didn't like Indy's?
No.
I didn't think it was that bad.
The hair.
What's wrong with it?
Do something. It's just too.
I'm not a girl, so I don't know. What's wrong with it?
I feel like they should have given her a piece for the top to make it look really thick and like.
But she wears her hair like that all the time.
I know she has like very fine hair, like I do. So when you wear a high ponytail like that, you gotta. Maybe I've just never seen it on TV, but that's exactly how I would look. Probably even less hair. So it's just me projecting my own like fear onto. Yeah, just projecting. Okay, so let's see. So then we got Kyle. Yeah,
that's what I thought about the episode.
We were almost through it, Chell. We're almost through it. Okay, so Joseph and Taylor. Okay, I'll jump ahead. VetoCon. Okay.
Just go to the end.
When they picked players for the veto, Taylor picked Alyssa. Mind you that. And she still screwed
her. Oh, yeah. That was like a give me to her, too.
So it was so stupid.
I gave you an inch and you took a.
I gave you a chance to not only win your safety, but save your friend who's supposed to be like one of your main allies. But okay. Okay. Let's see. Skid and Fancy. Did you like that?
I can't wait to see who she picks or if it's picked for her.
Oh yeah, you don't know.
Nope. That's why I said that was a great episode. I'll leave now.
All right. Kyle and Alyssa are then in bed. And she's like, I think I made a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have told her.
She's playing the innocent.
That's enough. She does that so much. She plays like, nothing. What's the matter? Nothing. What's the matter? Nothing.
Just so you know, them cuddling is not Casual Corner with Chell. I do not share that brand with them at all. That is my brand alone. Kyle and Alyssa do not represent Casual Corner.
You are not a Kyle and Alyssa or Kylissa stan, Chell?
No, does not represent my brand. Take my branding off of that photo.
I'm so sorry. This is when she starts saying she's a super fan. My mom's gonna be so mad at me, and I'm like, you are not a super fan. You have never seen anything. You don't know what you're talking about. You binged a couple seasons while you were preparing to be on the show, just like most of the people who say they're super fans. It's so ridiculous. And even Brittany's like, she's a super fan. She should know better. And I'm like, Britt, she's not a super fan. So then Monty, Joseph, and Britt and Taylor are talking, and Michael comes in about Alyssa's blunder. And Monty's just like, she gave you she not only took your trip, the HOH's trip, who has the power to nominate, the renom, she also gave you a punishment. So remember that. She not only took the trip, she gave the HOH, who still has power, a punishment. Monty's like, ugh. And then Britt's like, who does that? So then they start, talking about putting Alyssa up, and Taylor's like, yeah, that's starting to make sense. I mean, you put all the pieces together, and I mean, I would have targeted Alyssa from the jump because, again, she's in a showman's. I need to get Kyle. He's in my alliance. I need to make sure his head's fully in this alliance and not in her, shorty shorts. So I'm going to break up that alliance. But it seems like they just were letting this go, even maybe because Alyssa was like, swear we haven't kissed yet. I'm like, they've penetrated. And also the people in the house, they knew even when she was lying about the kiss thing. They were definitely spending a lot of time together. Then Michael.
That was a great episode.
Michael thinks targeting Alyssa. What do you think about this, Chell? Michael thought he had a DR and he said targeting Alyssa is rash, dumb, and emotional.
I think Michael's being, it is rash, but I think Michael's going to share more of how he feels in a DR. So I think that's how he honestly feels, but he's just going to go with whatever people want. I think Alyssa would be a good person to get rid of because of their close connection to Kyle. So I think that, ultimately, even if he thinks it's brash, I mean, you got to split those two up because ultimately one of these moves, if Kyle wins HOH, is going to be to save his girlfriend more than anything.
Well, we'll see because they didn't even show us the damn veto ceremony. And I was like, since when? It's happened this season, but why are they starting this new trend where we don't even see the veto ceremony until Thursday? Thursday's about evictions and new HOHs. It is a 2 hour. I was excited about that. And Chell's like, that's too long.
It is. I'm at 55 and I'm having trouble concentrating.
I know. I was like, I lost my husband about 10 minutes ago.
And that was a great episode.
Well, you did great, Chell. Casual corner. What do you think is going to happen? We'll leave you with this last question. What do you think is going to happen with tomorrow's veto ceremony?
What do I hope or what do I think will happen?
Start with what you hope will happen. And
Alyssa
then
on the block. Terrence off. Alyssa and Indy on the block. Let's get some blood on our hands. What I think will happen. Indy off the block and Joseph on the block. And then Joseph gets voted out because we've seen this movie too many times.
All right. So you think it's going to fall into what we've seen in the past? You think they're going to go through with that plan?
Predictable Big Brother time.
Well, that is actually what they say about this show, Chell. They say expect. I'm trying to get to my thing that I want to pop up. Expect the expected. I'm supposed to expect the unexpected, but I say expect the expected. So we will see. Thank you to my handsome husband, Chell Hernandez, my husbando. Thank you so much. I love you.
Bye, everybody.
Let me know if you go work out. I'll see you soon. Close your ears. I love you.
I will.
Close your ears.
Later.
Hear stuff. Bye.
We gotta go now. Stop keeping me here against my
love you. Bye. Oh, can you bring me a Diet Coke?
No, they're not cold.
No, I made sure they're cold.
Oh, you put them in the fridge? Oh,
I put them in the fridge.
Doing work after the show too? Dang.
Love you. Marriage. Bye. All right. That was Casual Corner with Chell. Now we're going to get into some juicy stuff. Okay, I can't say the juicy details till you get the Diet Coke. Okay, we're just waiting for me to get. Can I get one of my fancy straws? Thank you so much. I'm like Jasmine. Can you get me a peanut butter and jelly? Hi, Chell. Can you give me a Diet Coke with a fancy straw?
For some reason, that voice works on.
And I need it does work on you? Okay. And I need another pair of Doc Marten sandals, another pair of Birkenstocks. You go buy me some. And a new car. Thank you. And 2 miniature dachshunds. Okay. Bye, hubby. Okay, you guys. So very interesting that we did not see what is going, the veto thing, but the veto ceremony, but that is what they have been doing. Oh, and I got my fancy straw. Okay, close your ears now.
I can't. I'm not left yet.
Go turn on your KCRW. Hey, you put it through this thing.
Yeah, that's how you keep the straw in place.
Did you learn that on TikTok?
No, I learned it online.
Does anybody do this? Does anyone else do this and put the straw in the thingy? Who does that? It doesn't make noises though. And normally I make these awful noises. It sounds like a chalkboard scratch. Okay. That's good. Well, you're right on time. Okay. Chell's gone. So let's talk about some stuff. All right. So this week, let's start first with it is Jasmine's birthday. Okay. So much is happening on the live feeds with back and forth. Jasmine will not shut up that it's her birthday. She made everyone in the house stay up till her 30th, till midnight when she turned 30. I have never seen people so sad on a birthday in my entire life. It was hilarious. Turner had all the facial reactions as she was just, making everything about her. Okay. So also Indy made her a cake that was on its period. We'll talk about that as well too. I've never seen a cake like this in my whole entire life. But here's Turner and Turner. They're all in the living room. They're waiting till midnight. Everybody's tired. Okay. So by this time, the Sid and Nancy, because I forget what they're calling it now, but the Sid and Nancy twist or punishment, I should say, is Taylor and Joseph tethered to each other. And Taylor's like, I'm so tired, but Jasmine's like, it's my birthday, so we gotta stay up. And she's wide awake. She's got her full face of makeup. She knows she thinks it's gonna make TV, so she's getting ready and she's like, isn't this so fun? And Turner's like, this is the worst day ever. Then she makes people go around in the circle and say, can you tell me 2 things about me that you like? Okay. One time at a hibachi restaurant for Chell's birthday, I threw him a surprise birthday and I had all his friends show up and he loved it because he loves those hibachi. This is like years ago, but I actually have done 2 surprise hibachi birthday parties now. I might need to get a new idea, but I did make people go around the table and say nice things about Chell because it was his birthday, but I made them do it as the wife. I didn't say something nice about me. And I also did it because most of them were comedians, and comedians, when you have to be like genuine or have these feelings of vulnerability in front of other people when you're not on stage, some comedians kind of freak out. So that's mostly why I did it. But she makes them go around, and it was so crazy. Thank you, Christian says conspiracy theory is Jasmine secretly Rockstar's daughter. And Alyssa picking flower petals like, he loves me, Kyle. He loves me, Kyle. 10 seconds of heaven. Hibachi is amazing. We've had a lot of birthdays at hibachi because Chell just loves it. He is like a basic pumpkin spice white lady about hibachi. Okay. He's like how I am about pumpkin spice lattes. He is about hibachi. He's like, it's hibachi season. So we do that. Okay. So then she's like, what do you like about me, Turner? Tell me. And he's like, oh God, I got to find my Turner stuff. Let's see. I like that we're not bestie besties anymore. What? Because, I didn't want to get too used to all that goodness, that was facts. That was fire. So that's what I mean. I like that you're unique. I like your press-on nails. That's my brand. You can't say that, Turner. That's my brand. That's not about me. I like that you're not gonna be on this earth forever. What? No, I'm saying because there's supposed to be a better afterlife for all of us. That's facts. That's fire. But I mean, one of those things he said, 2 of them he didn't figure out which one, but he was really struggling. Everyone was struggling. Everyone looked so bored. They had these little hats on. And then Indy made, let me see if I can find a picture of the cake. The cake Indy made, I don't even know what kind of cake this is. I have made really great cakes in the past. I'm actually a decent baker. Everything else I suck at when it comes to cooking, unless it's Kraft macaroni and cheese out of the box. I've gotten very good at that. But Chell makes really good cakes for our birthdays, and Indy made a cake. Let me see if I can find that. I know I took a screenshot because I was like, what the hell is this? That looked like it was on the first day of its period. It was so weird looking. I don't even know. We'll just do here's another picture of Turner just looking. This is how her birthday party was. This is how just go to bed. The whole week doesn't have to be about you and your birthday. Yes, 30 is a big birthday, but you're going to be in this house, celebrate on the day, let everybody have some cocktails. I mean, this is still a social game. Look at, here's Turner. There's Jasmine. She's just loving, I love my birthday. Where the heck did I put pictures of that cake? But it looked so ridiculous. I know I retweeted a picture of it. Let me try to find it here, you guys. Thank you for your patience as I find this cake, and it better be worth it. But it legit, I think I'm just going to have to pull it from my Twitter. I don't know what, but people have been telling Indy, they're like, we feel like you're cooking. And since Nicole's left, they've told her a lot more that they liked Indy's cooking more than Top Chef's cooking. And even like Brittany was saying that. She's like, I like a lot of your stuff. And Michael said that, and especially Jasmine. She loves Indy's pasta she makes because Jasmine likes pasta, and Indy's like, I never knew someone who liked pasta so much. Like, it's weird to me that she likes pasta. And Jasmine's like, well, there's nothing else to eat. I don't know. I just like it, okay? Oh, I found a picture of the cake. Oh my God, you guys. This cake, I think it was like a Sprite. I don't know. They were describing it, and I will eat pretty much any cake except for this cake. Yes, those are the Veto pants. So of course Turner, you know, he's the thrift store guy. He's the Mr. Reusables. He's going to take those and wear them. You know, that's totally his style. Okay, so now I saved it. My desktop has way too much stuff on it. I almost pulled up something from 90 Day Fiance, and you guys would be like, that is not what happened here. Okay, where did you go, my sweet little period cake? Oh my God, how annoying. Okay, well, they made her a card. Here's a card they made her. And she was like, this is so nice. This is so nice. And I thought you weren't supposed to be able to write in the Big Brother house, but they found a way with lipstick. They kissed it, and it was on a cereal box. Here's the cake. This cake needs a maxi pad. This cake needs a menstrual cup. This cake needs period panties, because this does not look edible. How is this edible? The first time I looked at it, I was like, somebody murdered that cake. This looks like a prop from Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. Like, what is this? Indy's like, you're gonna love it. That's not how Indy talks, but I'm like, what? Yes, it needs a criminal investigation. It is SVU. What? Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to have to just show Chell a picture of this cake, because this cake it's going to give me nightmares. Like, for sure, it's going to give me nightmares. It looks like an autopsy. It is a crazy crime scene menstruation of an autopsy. Okay. Oh my God. It is so, oh my God. I'm going to go buy it period panties tomorrow. It looks horrible. It's the Carrie cake. Yeah, it is from the movie Carrie. I'm watching this new show on HBO Max. I think it's new. It's like Pretty Little Liars, Original Sin, but I never even watched the first Pretty Little Liars, but this Original Sin show is a pretty darn good, you guys. If you like teenage, spooky, we're always in Halloween and somebody did something and somebody's after us shows, I really like it. But this reminds me of that, because they had like a Carrie-like situation that almost happened on that show. Yeah, the Sprite cake is not gross. Oh, it's not? Okay. What is in a Sprite cake? I'm so curious, because I feel like that I should know, being a Midwestern lady. I feel like that's something we would totally make in the Midwest. Okay, but guys. Okay, so I'm just going to Google, when I look up Sprite birthday, when I look up Sprite cake, it looks like an upside down cake. It looks nothing like that. So someone did a Sprite cake like this, and oh, that's a YouTube video. Okay, hold on, let me show you guys this one. This one looks actually kind of cool. So here's Sprite. Oh, it's a Sprite. That's a Sprite themed cake. A lot of Sprite themed cake, but the actual Sprite cake, a lot of Sprite themed. Oh, this one's cool. I mean, I understand that she couldn't do all of this in the house, but the Sprite cake is insanely good. That's what Insanely Good Recipes has it on there. And it looks like a pound cake with yummy, yummy frosting and like lemon. I'll show you what they have it looking like, and you'll be like, oh, she dropped the ball on this Sprite cake, because I don't think this is what it's supposed to look like. So this is what, when you Google it, what it looks like. And that looks appetizing AF. Okay, so the Sprite cake is a yellow cake that is just begging to be frosted while it's baking. Whip up your favorite frosting recipe. The result is a delightfully spongy and moist cake you can serve to your friends and family. The flavor of Sprite soda is so mild, you can't even tell you took a shortcut. The lemon extract blends well with the lemon lime soda to produce a cake that has a flavor all of its own. This is perfect for summer gatherings, which is like Big Brother, because Indy keeps referring to the Big Brother house as a summer house. She thinks she's on like Summer House on Bravo. That's what she thinks she's on. That I think that's what that show's called. I do watch it sometimes too. And then they have Winter House. She thinks she's on Jersey Shore or something. Okay. There is nothing more satisfying than making a baked good from scratch. Send your cake mixes walking with this go-to recipe. Transform any meal into a celebration with a slice of this delicious cake. From winning the big game to one of life's big moments, this cake is ready to party with you. So the ingredients is butter, sugar, lemon extract, vanilla extract, eggs, flour, Sprite. So I don't know what Indy was doing then, right? It's a pound cake. So what's hers? People do chocolate mix with cola too. I wouldn't be against trying that. And then when I looked up other Sprite cakes, let's say you wanted to make it more birthday themed, I found this one. Again, I know she has limited, tools, but it just seems like, where did that go? Where did you go? Where did you go? Okay, so then we have this one, and then there's Indy's again. And then the actual Sprite cake. Now all I can see is this murder scene. I can't find the other one I took a picture of. Well, here we go. Here it is. And here's the other one. That actually looks kind of fun, like a cola type. Like you're pouring the soda onto it, which, Sprite is not green, but you get the idea. It still looks better than Indy's cake. Okay. I would eat that. I would eat that. So that is good. Okay. So they all had to go around the circle. It was super cringy. Everybody looked like they just wanted it to be over, but Jasmine's like, it's my birthday. I'm surprised she didn't expect actual gifts. But she was very happy that it was her birthday, and that's all she's been talking about. Is this my birthday? It's your birthday. And so there's that. So we have that situation. Now, when it turned midnight, Kyle and Alyssa were in the back bedroom. I believe this is when they were in the Jetson room, and they were talking and they were cuddling. And I think I have those screenshots. For now, we'll just use this one, but they were back there because they had a talk. So they've had talks on the feeds, like so many talks. It's like talking and fucking and talking and fucking and talking and fucking. And it's just, oh God, but it's like more like fighting and effing and fighting and effing. Let me make sure I sent that over to myself. And this is when Alyssa or Kyle is going to tell her that, maybe you shouldn't, tell Turner everything, because after they did it, that is when so after they first did it on the floaty, okay, you guys, that is when Alyssa woke up and she was very weepy, very weepy. She was like, this was a magical time in my life, and I'm in love, and I don't know, I think a lot of emotions were hitting her. She was on her period as well. So, our hormones, it kind of happens. And I'm just sending these things to myself. Don't mind me, guys. And so she tells Turner. Now, it wasn't like when I watched her, it wasn't her like bragging like, hey, Turner, I just boned your friend. Like, pooh, it was like 10 seconds. She didn't say how much time it was. She just said we had sex. And then she was kind of crying. Which isn't the best. She was weepy about it. And she's like, I think I'm just emotional and I have anxiety. And she has said she does have anxiety. And if I was in that house, I would have tons of anxiety, because it's just an anxious place. You just never know what people's real intentions are. You don't know what, how a lot of these house guests are like, we don't know how we're coming off to the public. So they're in the back bedroom having like full on, was that today or last? I'm getting confused, but I think it was last night. Okay. So first, they were in the bathroom. Oops, no, I don't want you to open every picture. So first they're in the bathroom, okay? And he's grabbing her butt, and he's like, oh, I'm so horny. And she's like, me too, baby. And then they're like, let me cup your butt, because he just, as much as he plays on the episodes, like, good, she's like all over me. Ooh, help me. He wants to do it with her all the time. Okay. So then they're like, where can we go? Where can we go to like do it? Or where can we go to just like be together? It's like, I can't go to the have not room. For some reason, they couldn't go to the have not room, and I can't remember when or why. So it's like, she's like, we can go to my room, but my bed I don't have a blanket or any pillowcases. I don't have a comforter or any pillowcases. He's like, duh, was going to make it hard to fool around. They're going to see us through the sheets. So then he takes the comforter off of his bed and they decide to head into her room. And that is when, they start cuddling, start talking, and they're talking game and talking, what she can and can't tell Turner. He's very worried about what she's been telling Turner. So he was saying, so I was writing down their little conversation they had here. Okay. So I told you, everyone makes Jasmine say something nice about her for her birthday. It is horrible. Alyssa has said before this previously, after they did it again. She talked to the camera. So this is, I think prior to this, she talks to the cameras and she says, "You guys, I'm in love. I wish we could just end this season and I'll get married to Kyle. Oh my God, I love him. Like, I love everything about him. He's so great. I love him." And I'm like, girl, this is really, like Josh was saying from Couch Potato Queens, is dickmatized. Like, and I don't even know why. She then tells freaking Kyle while she's in bed, "You're the hottest guy I've ever been with. I love everything about you." He's like, "Even my ears?" She's like, "Even your ears?" He's like, "Even my small feet?" "Even your small feet." And then he said, "Even my lack of stamina." I think that's what he said. And she was like, "Shh." Or my limited endurance. That's what he said. And she was like, "Shh," because she doesn't want people to know, because if her friends are watching, it's like, "You're doing this for 10 seconds, man." You know what I mean? And it'd be one thing if he was pleasing her in other ways or something, but I mean, I don't think so. Maybe he's got a tongue on him. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a Christian. I don't know these things, but I'm a church girl. I don't partake in any of that. You know what I mean? I'm just on holding hands in my marriage. So I don't know what these people are doing. I don't know what these hooers are doing. So she's just like pumping him up, like, "I just love you, and you're so cute, and you're so sexy," and she's kissing his neck, and then they like are just like sucking face, and then they're talking more, and then Kyle, like I said, is bringing up the information like with Turner that she's sharing with Turner, because she does talk a lot to Turner. Her and Turner have a fun little friendship. Okay, well, so her and Turner talk a lot of personal stuff, even more than game. So then he's like, "I don't want you to give so much info to Turner." And he doesn't want her to lie to him if she shares things with Turner, like she had sex, because she denied telling Turner. And Turner was like, "She told me." How else would she know if Kyle didn't tell her? And Alyssa should have just like owned up to that right away, but she didn't. And then he was just like, "You just have to be careful," because Kyle's lying to her, she's lying to him, like it's all a big lie circle, and they're on camera and they're super cringy, and they might be siblings, because no one has disproven my theory that they might be related, because they look freaking related. I'm sorry, okay? And I think her brother's name is Kyle, and his sister-in-law looks very much like her. Okay, she's some kind of cheerleader for a sports team in Utah. Do they have a basketball team, maybe? So I don't know. So then she's like, "Why do you say it? Why do you keep telling me that? Like, why do you keep telling me? Like, I don't know. I know it keeps up." And that's when she gets upset, because he's like, "Well, Turner, he knows, he knew about us. And he came to me and he was like, 'Hey, Kyle, Alyssa's kind of upset. And so you should go make everything right with her.'" Well, that, make sure she's okay or something. Well, that really set Alyssa off. Then Alyssa was like, "What?" Because she was like, "I didn't know that Turner told you to go check on me. I just thought you were checking on me because you wanted to check on me. But now I know that you're only checking on me because Turner told you to check on me." He's like, "Are you mad?" She's like, "No, I'm not." "Well, how are you feeling?" "I don't feel anything." "What do you mean you don't feel anything? You look like you feel I don't. You can't close down on me. Open up your heart. Listen to your heart when it's calling for you." And she's like, "My heart's not saying anything. I'm fine." He's like, "Are you sure you're fine?" "I'm fine." "You don't look fine." "I'm so fine." "Oh my God, are you really okay?" And then his 30-year-old body, it was kind of a 30-year-old body, but his like 12-year-old brain is like, I does not compute what's happening. So it's this game that they're playing where he knows she's mad, and he knows that he's telling her not to lie, even though he's lying to her about stuff. And they can't really tell each other the complete truth. and they're really just horny for each other. And he's got Giorgio Armani glasses on. And she just like opened up her heart and was like, oh, you're so perfect. You're like the best. He's like, I'm not. I'm like, no, I only last 10 seconds. She's like, I love those 10 seconds. They're the best 10 seconds of my life. Okay. No, 10 seconds is actually a really long time. And so they're just back and forth. You mad? You mad? You mad? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Okay. And then he's like, are you mad at Turner? And she's like, yes. And he's like, no, you can't be mad at Turner because I didn't tell Turner that I'm going to tell you. I told him I wouldn't tell you that he told me that you told him that we had sex. So this is just going on way too long. And it is so junior high minus the sex. Hopefully there's no sex then, but whatever. But they are like really immature in this relationship. Okay. So, and then she's like, well, I trusted him. I just needed someone to talk to. And I just, and he's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. You can talk to Turner. Just don't deny it when you tell him stuff. Don't deny it when I ask you. Okay. But don't get mad at Turner. We need him. Trust me. So Kyle keeps saying, we need Turner. Trust me. We need him. And Alyssa's like, I don't know. I'm fine. I don't even care. Like, whatever. Oh my God. And then she just completely tries to shut down because she's protecting herself or something. And then she's clearly mad, but she pretends not to be mad. And then they continue to go back and forth with this immature game of, I'm not mad. You're mad. No, I'm not mad. I'm mad. I know you're mad. No, I'm not mad. Are you mad at me? No, I'm fine. I'm not mad. Hey, do you still like me? Oh my God. And then she's like, why would you ask stupid questions like that? And he's like, what are you feeling right now? And she's like, nothing. I feel nothing, Kyle. I feel nothing. And he's like, you have to feel something. I could tell. She's like, I'm not feeling anything. Okay. I'm not feeling anything. The same way as when we have sex, I feel nothing. And it was just very, very, very dramatic. And then finally she opens up after this whole back and forth. She's like, why are you sitting up like that? He's like, well, I just know something's wrong. He's got to rub her back and pander to her. And she's got to be like, okay. And then she's like, I just feel like I was anxious. So that's why I went to Turner. And I'm not happy he told you. And then I thought you came and checked on me because you wanted to. But now I know it's because he told you to. And that's weird because in the back of Alyssa's head, she realized she is dating, because they're now officially dating, if you guys didn't know, a man-child. It's a 30-year-old guy who is very immature with his emotions, very immature with his wiener, very immature with his profession, very, mommy and him are making ticky-tackies, which is fine. I make stuff with my mom too, but I also have a 401k. So, it's a different life. And she's already been kind of judgmental of the way he lives his life when she's talking to Jasmine. Previously, she has said, it's like, it kind of icks me out when I think that he makes his living on like shirtless TikToks. Ew. And she's super jealous. So of course she is not going to be okay with outside of this. This is Holly Beth and Jerkson. Like they're not going to work outside of this house. They already don't work inside of the house. How are they going to work outside of the house? And I do understand that the pressure of the cameras and stuff, but these two are just, it's like next level cringe. Okay. And if they do, God bless. But now she's realizing like, oh my God, a 23-year-old Turner had to tell him to come check on me the day after we had intercourse, where I would think he would come up to me, bring me coffee, rub my back, rub my clitoris, maybe because you only lasted 10 seconds, do something for me, sir. But he, kind of was like, well, I thought I should stay away from you because, the game is, we don't want to make it too obvious that we just banged on the floaty. And she's like, I want you to check on me. And I thought you wanted to check on me, but it turns out you didn't want to check on me. Turner told you to check on me. So it's like Turner knew to do it because Turner would check on Megan and Megan would check on Turner. And that's the kind of relationship I want. All right. And then he's just like, Alyssa tells him that she's like, it's just hard for me to tell my feelings without a pen and a piece of paper. Because if you guys didn't know, Alyssa is a poet and you just don't know it, okay? She is a poet. We forget, but Kyle has been trying to get poetry out of her. So far, he's only got poetry out of her, Virginia, So she's like, I'll tell you one of my poems later. She's been like kind of teasing it for a while, I'll tell you a poem later. I can't just tell you off the bat. But remember in her intro package, she's like, I'm a poet. Let's see if we can get some poetry music going here, okay? This is lo-fi. Okay, let's see, acoustic cinematic, maybe. This is like nice. Okay, poetry in motion, Alyssa. Oh, Kyle, my love, my little eared love. Oh, Kyle with the feet, so small and so petite. Oh, Kyle with the ween that barely weens. Oh, Kyle, I love thee. more than ever. We are together forever. Oh, Kyle's mother, who I talk to on the feeds, I look up at the sky in the camera and I say, I will take care of your son, but he better not talk to another woman because he's never made me come. Oh, Kyle, with the little feet and the little ears and the glasses and the whatever that's called, not stigmata, but the stigmatism. I love you, Kyle. I love you, Kyle. I love you to here and to there. I love you to the have-not floaty. I love you to the HOH room and back in between. I love you to the Jetson bedroom. I love you all around this house and I will watch you. That is enough. That is enough, I say. That is enough, I pray. As he grabs a hold of another woman to congratulate her on a monumentous moment in this game, I said, don't you dare, because I care. It's not because I'm jealous. It's because I'm overzealous about this relationship that we have. I love you. I rub you. I tug you. You will be with me. I will be with you. We will be married in wedded bliss. I'll watch you take a piss because we are just that comfortable. That's enough. And that is the poem. That is the poem that I have decided that Alyssa will do for him. Okay. Thank you, Joleen After Dark. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I did have a creative writing minor. I also wrote shitty poetry in college. So there you go. But yeah, she basically said that I don't have a pen and paper to write this down. Oh, Kyle, my little 10-second Kyle. Oh, Kyle, clap, snaps. We'll have a poetry hour. We'll have to keep this going. Remind me in the chat when I'm live. We'll have to do at least one poem alive, one Alyssa poem of what's going on. Oh my, that was fun. Isn't it fun? It's fun to just really express yourself. I have a whole book of shitty poems I used to write when I was young that I used to read to my mom because that's how nerdy I was. Yes, I'm a poet and you just don't know it. Okay, so I love that Alyssa was like, I don't have it's such a early 20s thing to say. I don't have my pen and paper there. She's so melodramatic. And that was the note I got from every professor in college. They were like, Joleen, you're very melodramatic. And I was like, I am, thank you. And then I learned, that's not necessarily a good thing. But that's Alyssa right now. She's like, I can't express myself without a pen and a paper. Okay. Preferably like an old school Bic pen and like unlined paper. So I feel very like, I like to write sonnets based on sonnets. Okay. ASMR. Yes. Grab a cereal box. Right? It's a beatnik corner. Okay. All right. So they have this whole, they go from grabbing butts and kissing, and then they are making out in the bedroom to, you hear Jasmine yelling across the house. She's like, Alyssa! And they're like, yelling. And she was screaming for Alyssa. And Alyssa and Kyle already feel like they have their hall monitors on them. They call Indy the hall monitor for them as well. Because she's always coming in. So yeah, but now, so it's official. They keep fighting and having sex, and she wants to marry him. And she talked to the feeds and talked to his mom and said, I'll be so good for him. And it's like, oh, red flag. And she wants to quit the game and get married. These are her. I wish I was making this up. But I'm not. Okay. But Jasmine's like, stop not orgasming and celebrate my birthday month. All right. So yeah, that happens. Jasmine has admitted on the feeds that during her birthday party, they were sharing mostly about Jasmine, that she wanted to be an actress. And after this, they're like, what do you think, what are you going to pursue after this? She's like, I'm thinking about pursuing maybe some hosting gigs will come up, some hosting gigs. And then I always wanted to try acting. I think I'm going to act. And I always wanted to be on the Disney Channel. And some of the host guests, I think maybe it was Taylor. She was like, well, it might be too late for that, but now we could all play moms on the Disney Channel. And Jasmine was like, oh, I'm surprised she didn't. And I don't know, maybe I missed it on the feeds, but I'm surprised she didn't walk away and go, how dare she call me a mom? I'm only 30. I could still be a teenager. I got the mentality of one. Okay. So she might pursue acting after this. You guys look for her in a Lifetime movie or a tampon commercial or something. You never know. Dream big, Tampax. All right. Then, what else is going on the feed? So we have this party, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So as of now, Indy is feeling pretty comfy. I would argue too comfy, too close for comfort. Okay. Indy has no idea what's going on. She thinks the numbers are on her side. She really doesn't understand how this game works. She's just kind of like, I want to be on Brazil Big Brother and I hang out with soccer players and I hate Taylor. And that's the extent of her personality. And Joseph loves me. And he's like, oh, yes, baby. You know, he's tethered to Taylor. And yet, you know, he always makes sure to give Indy. He knows he admitted to Taylor that he knows he has to give a certain amount of attention to Indy. Okay. And Indy was just basically like, so let me see if I have anything before that. Brittany, before the party was talking about how her stomach hurts. She was on the hammock by herself outside, just, you know, probably just farting. That's where I'd go if I just had to like toot. You just go out on there when no one's out there. And then here comes Indy saying how, you know, she feels comfortable. And Brittany's like, my tummy hurts. And then she said, I think I ate some leftovers that were bad. And I was like, wow, did she mean to say that? Because you sure did, Brittany. Because if you don't know, Brittany and Michael are playing very messy. That's why this edit of this episode is interesting, because at this point, it's this back and forth of, are we going to take the first shot at the leftovers? Are we going to join Kyle's White Bread Wonder Bread Alliance? So Kyle, again, has decided he is terrified that Cookout 2.0 is happening. You know, Taylor, Joseph, Monty, so close. They're so close, you know, and there's a bigger purpose. You know, he had this talk previously. He keeps mentioning things. They have so much in common. And thank you, Forever Young. Welcome to the lean team here. Okay. So he's very, very worried. So Kyle keeps spitting this very problematic rhetoric of, you know, well, I think we should grab Turner and I think we should grab Alyssa. And, you know, and because I think it's going to be a Cookout 2.0. And it's like, well, first of all, it's not going to be a Cookout 2.0 because we've already had multiple people of color and multiple Black House guests evicted. All right. So, and put on the block. So it's not a Cookout 2.0. Like the strategy alone doesn't make any sense because that's not how the Cookout rolled. And a lot of these players barely get along. Now, the one thing he might think is because Taylor has been very open about she doesn't want on her HOH to put a Black woman on the block. She realizes there are only two of them left, and her and Jasmine, and she's like, I don't want to do that. I started this game because of the Cookout. Now I've seen a lot of people with some interesting takes, even in my comment section about this, and I will say that here's the thing. There's this whole hashtag going around, hashtag stop protecting Kyle. The reason people are now saying, oh, Taylor's a racist, Taylor's this, first of all, Taylor can't be racist, okay? Because you got to look up the definition of racism. Race plus power equals racism. If you are the minority in a certain situation like the United States and all that, she can't be racist. Now, can you be prejudiced? Can you be kind of bigoted? Sure. But to be an actual racist, she can't, okay? And there's no such thing as reverse racism. So those are just things we need to just accept as a country, and then we can kind of move on and learn and progress and all that stuff, okay? So the edit of the episode allowed for them to show Taylor saying this about Jasmine. Now, Taylor's not saying everyone has to do this. Taylor's not even saying she's working with Jasmine. She's not even saying she wouldn't vote out Jasmine. She's just saying, as a Black woman, one of the two Black women left in the house, she doesn't feel comfortable putting her on the block. Now, some will argue, well, we already did the Cookout and you already had a winner. It's like, yes, but that took 23 seasons and you had a Black man win that season. Now, there's still never been a Black woman win that season. So as much as Taylor doesn't like Jasmine, she believes in the Cookout, in their purpose, which was to see that come to fruition, because after all these seasons, it's kind of ridiculous that it took that long. And by kind of, I mean very ridiculous that it took that long to see a Black American win Big Brother. Like that's way too long. Okay. And so now we've never had a Black woman win Big Brother. So she just doesn't, after being motivated and inspired by the Cookout, she just doesn't want to do that. She's not saying she wouldn't vote out Jasmine. She's not even saying she's given any other treatment to Jasmine other than, I just don't want to nominate her. Okay. And so since they put that in the episode, now you have some people coming back being like, Taylor's an idiot and she's racist or whatever. However, the Stop Protecting Kyle hashtag Stop Protecting Kyle hashtag is trending because they have not. It's very interesting the way they're editing this show, which Big Brother, you never do yourself any favors when it comes to this shit. You dig a bigger hole. If you're going to show Taylor saying she will not put Jasmine on the block because she does not want to put a black woman on the block, you have to show the edit of Kyle saying that he fears for a cookout 2.0. And so he wants to extract all of the whiteness into his alliance to take out all of the people of color in the house, even Indy, okay, the Brazilian woman, okay? So there was a great little thread about this, and I think it was Pop Crave was the website tweeted about this, and they shared some of the some of the best, the tweets that best described how much of kind of the hypocrisy of Big Brother and CBS at this time to show this light on Taylor for her to take the hit from the people who already were very anti cookout last season and who people and think that that was racist. You know, you do have a lot of you do have a bit large part of the fan base who still thinks that that was a racist strategy. Okay. So they showed that, but they're not showing Kyle saying what he's saying. Well, why? So Taylor's going to take all these hits for this, but Kyle doesn't. So in some of these tweets, there is one person at the Capital_V says CBS was quick to show Taylor saying over and over she won't put up a black woman, which caused the casuals to call her racist, but they refused to show the actual racist Kyle and what he's been saying for weeks. And then at Yummy_Leftover says, not surprised, CBS Big Brother is hiding Kyle and the silent majority's microaggressions against the POC. Against the people of color. Nobody cares about the people of color experience because we are seen as less than. So Kyle has now been on the feeds talking to Michael, saying some very, problematic rhetoric that we're the silent majority. And he's saying the whites in the house are the silent majority and they have to gather together. We've heard that before, haven't we? Didn't we hear that for like 4 years? Okay. And show it. And if you're not going to show Kyle, then you can't show Taylor either. They could have easily left that out because Taylor had enough reason to put up Terrence. Also, Taylor put up Terrence. She's just saying as a woman, like Taylor literally wanted to evict Terrence, who is a black man. It's just so crazy that she's not saying everyone. She's saying the Cookout's mission, again, was to get a black winner of Big Brother because there had never been a season where the scales were kind of even in ratio for black contestants to even have a chance. And, we're still, have, you usually get like one black man and one black woman. And that's it. That's it. All the house guests that you would get, if you go back to like season 15, you have Candyland, and you have Candace and you have Howard. And I think that's it. And a lot of seasons looked like that. Okay. Then you get one black woman and one black man, and that's it. And you get one gay man and you just get one of each. And then the whites just are whiting. We get all the spots. All right. So they wanted to see a black winner. And so they had to do that once the scales were a little more even and once they had more diversity and once they did actually cast actual like black house guests, more than 2, then they did that. Well, now we still haven't seen a woman. So I can see where Taylor is coming from 110%. And I don't have to be a black woman to see that. I can see that she is looking at it from the perspective. I just look at it as a perspective, like if there'd never been a woman winner, I would probably not want to put a woman up on my HOH because representation, as we see in life, is so important. And I'm not trying to get on a soapbox here, but I don't care. It is very important. And it's something that can literally change and cause so much progress. So I don't think the Cookout in any way or fashion deterred progress or made this happen. I think this was always coming in Big Brother. Anytime people of color in this game have ever tried to organize, they've looked like a problem. Anytime women have organized, they've looked like a problem and they've been attacked in this game and they've been made the targets. So this isn't new to that. And the Cookout made it very clear what their mission was. And they succeeded. They didn't say we're going to do this every year. And also, there's no way Big Brother's ever going to. I honestly don't think. I always thought it'd be so interesting if we did a season where white people were the minority in the house. I think playing around with different things like that would be, because if this is a true social experiment, I mean, why not? But I don't know if they'll ever do that. Thank you, Christian. Silent majority is Kyle trying to take credit. Yeah, I don't know what it's trying to do, but it sounds really problematic. Okay. So again, Taylor is taking the heat. It's hitting people's comment section. I can't imagine the heat she's taking. Okay. So they're protecting Kyle while he's wholly out there saying, we're the silent majority. We need to go after all the people of color, because even though I don't even think some of them get along. Even though we've voted out multiple POCs this season, I just assume that they're going to work together, because one season to make history, you had the Black House guests work together. Now you're terrified. That just goes to show, like, any shift of power from the majority is terrifying. So imagine, Kyle, if you feel that way in this game for $750,000, imagine what it was like for minorities in this game ever since the beginning of Big Brother. Imagine how they felt when they were actually not being included in alliances and actually didn't have someone who looked like them anywhere near them because they didn't cast them in this game. So then there's another at Lisa B for Life says, Kyle seriously said that the white people and the leftovers are the silent majority, while the black and brown folks are loud. He said that too. He said Monty, Joseph, and Taylor are loud. This is coming from a man who's having public sex. I mean, not to shame sex, but you are having sex on national television with a girl. You are talking about your boner. I was watching the live feeds. He walked by a mirror after they were doing like the butt grabbing and kissing. And he was like, I have it in my notes here because I wrote it down. He said, my dick is hanging out again. He didn't whisper it. He said, my dick's hanging out again, as they walked to the bedroom. Okay. This is coming from a man who twerks, talks about twerking, takes off his shirt, jokes around, jolly, laughing, being loud, needing attention. I mean, if you have a TikTok, you need attention. This is coming from a man who regularly talks to the cameras. I mean, I would argue that you're very loud, sir, and all of your actions are loud. Okay. You're spreading your juices on other people's things and floaties and shared, surfaces. So that's pretty loud. Let's get loud. Let's get loud. But also another way, another microaggression we see very often is labeling people of color, mainly African Americans, as loud or aggressive when they've done nothing to be loud or aggressive. So we see that happening. So yeah, he says they're loud, and Michael and Brittany just nodded. Not good. And then the last tweet they have in this is at C thing FR for real. For any casuals out tonight, it was Kyle who started to put a target on Monty because he assumed all the POCs were working together. He wanted to unite all of the White House guests together to take the POC out, the people of color out. And that's true. Those are all true statements. So no matter where you fall on this, it doesn't make sense that CBS would show this one thing Taylor said of just, hey, I'm not against voting her out. I just don't. We hear the women say that of this season. Does that mean we're all sexist? Where they say, because women are targeted a lot in this game, and any women that work together are targeted. I mean, the biggest fear in a Survivor, in a game show, in Big Brother is women working together. Because they're like, oh my God. I mean, probably minorities working together is the biggest fear, and then women working together is the second biggest fear. And they think like we're going to sync up, and we're going to, all be on our periods, and we're going to turn into witches, and it's going to be like The Cracked, and it's how dare we get any power? So it is very interesting from a social aspect. And some people are like, it's just a game. It's a game that is a direct mirror of our society and everything. It is very interesting to see what is still considered the most privileged of people in the United States. And I'm not saying, again, if you don't understand white privilege, it's a simple Google search. I'm not saying coming from a place of money. I'm just saying from a place of where you see yourself represented in every aspect of America. You know, for myself, my white privilege starts with, I've always found products for my hair. I've always seen myself, people that look like me with the color of my skin on television in every job opportunity I could think of. I've always been the majority, every school I went to, jobs, things like that. There's a certain privilege that comes with that, you know, and there's more that goes to it, but on a very basic sense, that's what I always say when people are like, I was born poor. No one's talking about your income. Okay. It's not that kind of monetary privilege. It's basic privilege in life that things were kind of made around and for you, whether it be laws or hair products or makeup. Like that's one of the most basic things. I never had a problem finding my foundation. And then obviously having friends, having people of color as friends and them saying, oh, I have to get my makeup here or there. I mean, things are improving on that end, but they're like, oh, we have to go to a special place. I'm like, you can't just go to Target? And they're like, no, you can't. They don't have my color. I'm like, it's not your color of makeup. But there's things I never had to think about. I never had to worry about. So that's on a very basic level of privilege. But somehow some white people internalize that as some kind of hit. Like, are you saying I got a handout? No one's saying you got a handout. We're just saying the scales aren't even. And that this is America, bro. This is America. Dave said, good on Taylor too, because Jazz wouldn't do the same. No, she wouldn't. She wouldn't. Jazz would not do the same. That's the thing. That's how dumb Kyle's theory is. This is not a Cookout 2.0 because Jasmine put Taylor on the, like, wants Taylor gone. Like, she does not like her. Okay. So the overall point here is they're really trying that, and they got this hashtag trending because it's so problematic for them to only show Taylor's side. Taylor saying this one time, saying she just, didn't want to put Jasmine up, versus Kyle making multiple statements and having multiple meetings, trying to bring it up even to Turner. Like, he's been trying to bring up turning on the leftovers sooner rather than later and pulling the White Bread Alliance out of the leftovers. He didn't say it in the same words. He's explained it to Brittany and Michael, but he did take the temperature of Turner. Turner was like, no, I'm in it till the 7. And then after that, I'm with the pound. Because remember, the 4 guys are then in the pound. So it really, this is such a dumb move on Kyle's part because Kyle's so insulated within this alliance. It's not even funny. You would think he would be a target, but he's not, because he has people. I believe like Monty and Joseph would probably go to the pound, but Kyle will just go to Pound Town. Okay. So you have a lot of this alliance does want to stay loyal. Kyle's the one that from the jump, from very early on in this alliance, he was like, I hate when people say, get to the 7. It's not going to happen. And, arguably, yeah, it doesn't always happen with these big alliances and Big Brother. They're not able to do what the Cookout was able to do. But before he even gave it a chance, when they still had so many other targets to get out of the house, he was already finding his way out and finding all the white people's way out. So it's just like, it's so dumb because he was so insulated. Not only is he a showman, like, you give this man, like I said, arguably who has the most privilege and power in the world, in America, I should say. You scare him a little bit. One time, one season he sees where people of color organized and Black Americans organized, and then they won and they took out the white players, where before it's been the other way around, where we've literally seen seasons. Remember BB21? Camp Comeback was like camp segregation. It really was. And they were just like, no, it's strategy, it's game. But literally you were watching like a person of color, like, and then putting them in the house, and then they had to stay in there, but like can't talk game with them. And the way they were treated, it was just horrible. So he sees this one time. It hasn't even happened to him. Nothing in the way that this season has been played would indicate that Cookout 2.0 is on the horizon. Yet he's terrified of this. That is shit that is inbred in us. That's stuff that is inside of us that we don't even know, that's conditioned under white supremacy. Some people will hate that I'm saying this, but it's the truth. Those are the things that growing up under white supremacy, just seeing and being in a place of power, You might not even be fully cognizant of it. But that is what's in fact happening. You fear losing that little bit of power. If there wasn't some benefits to your whiteness, why are you so threatened by people of color competing and taking you out or organizing? If there wasn't some benefit to that, why are you so threatened by people calling out privilege and calling out racism? That's always been very interesting to me. The people that, no, I don't, da, da, da. If there wasn't, exactly, white fragility. If there wasn't some kind of benefit to this system for the people who have predominantly been in power the longest or had the most privilege, if you don't believe in privilege, then it shouldn't scare you. But why are you trying to protect it and hold on to it? Because subconsciously, consciously, that you are, in fact, benefiting under white supremacy and under, white privilege. And again, that doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. These are all things that I think again, in my humble opinion, if you just recognize, until you are truly ready to recognize what is right in front of us and what is reality, we can't progress as people. And so again, in this game, you can say, it's just a game, calm down, it's just a game. It's a game that's a mirror to our society. Everything we see out in the real world is what we're going to see in this house. They don't leave and all their biases go away and prejudice and all that for everybody. It doesn't go away. It's amplified because now you have money on the line and now you have people who are given permission to lie, cheat and steal if they want to, play that kind of game to get to the end. So all that is really amplified. So Joleen, please run for something. I worked in politics for a little bit, like behind the scenes, and it is not fun. And it is, unless we had more than, I will run for office once America picks up campaign finance reform and we have more parties. But no, I would be awful. But I just think that it's okay to progress and it's okay to recognize your privilege and your place in the world without getting super defensive about it. Okay. So basically, in this situation, you have Kyle who, the privilege is right there. He's able to say all these things and do all these things. And this network or the show, continues to protect him. Taylor, a Black woman, says one time, I just don't want to put Jasmine up. I just don't want to put another Black woman up. I'm not saying we can't get rid of her, nothing. I just don't want to put her up. I'm not saying I won't vote for her later. I just don't want to put her up. And that is what they show. So, how else do you explain that? Why are they protecting Kyle? We know why they're protecting Kyle, but why are they, it's really preventing any progress on this show. It really is. And it's just going to be the same thing over and over again. So, yeah. Let's see. Is there a Trump filter? You would nail it. Would I nail it? I don't know. Yeah, Taylor's okay if someone else puts Jen up. She just doesn't. She's like, there's a big word with optics in this house. So there's a problem now. So now people are turning on Michael and Brittany. Okay. Unfortunately, Michael and Brittany, like I said, it's getting messy. It's getting messy. Okay. So they've gone back and forth. At first, they're like, no, Kyle, that is crazy. That Wonder Bread Alliance, we're not doing that. Brittany kind of put the kibosh. We're not. And then somehow they started to, and I'm not following all of why they think this is a good idea this soon. And also, if Kyle is so afraid of saying that, Monty's a comp beast, Michael has the most wins. But you want to team up with him, but you want to get rid of a comp beast? But Michael's a comp beast. Maybe there is some thought that Monty and maybe Kyle himself aren't doing to their full potential. And since Michael is a gay man, maybe somehow he's in Kyle's head, he's not justifying his wins as legitimate. That's all I can think of is why he wouldn't see right in front of him that Michael is smart. Michael is a comp beast. So Michael and Brittany are like getting roasted on Twitter. Brittany has I just got done. It's so frustrating because I just got done talking about what a beautiful friendship I thought Brittany and Taylor were developing. Brittany had apologized to her, and they kind of were on the same page with the both being ostracized in the house. And I really, I knew I should always go with my gut. However, I did see a funny tweet about that today. Go with my gut, trust my gut. The thing that can't even handle dairy, milk, like if you're lactose. But I always should go with my theory. Never trust a woman with bangs in Big Brother. You just can't trust a woman or a man with bangs in Big Brother. Look at Daniel Tiger. Look at Baby Bangs from BB21. And now we got Brittany headed that way. So it's like, God. So they're going back and forth. And there's some speculation that maybe the DR, maybe production is tipping them off like, this is a bad look. Abort, abort, abort from this Wonder Bread thing. Because Taylor still looks at Michael and Brittany as her number ones, as her people she trusts, and Joseph. I will say the only thing I can think where they would fear that they couldn't trust Taylor is Joseph's influence because of a possible showmance, but then that makes no sense because you're going to be with Alyssa and Kyle. And as much as Joseph, some of his ideas, like to put him on the block was kind of erratic, but I would say I'd work with that because he's going to put himself. He wanted to put himself. He didn't say put you up as a pawn. He said himself. You know what I mean? And like Michael even said, like maybe we'll have to take a shot at him if he's up on the block or whatever. So why wouldn't you want to work with that? He's not saying you. He's saying himself. So unfortunately, now there's kind of going back and forth. And then it seemed to be Michael and Brittany were headed toward working with Kyle and Alyssa and trying to pull Turner. And Turner, again, was like, nah, I don't know. And Kyle's like, well, what do you think? I mean, someone usually takes takes a clip or takes not a clip, but takes a stab. What is the word he used? Or he takes a hit at there's always one person that'll take the first hit at the leftovers being the, alliance, And Turner's like, yeah, they're playing pool. He's like, yeah, well, that person usually is the first to get clipped, first to, then get voted off. And I'm like, yeah, it's just too soon. It's too weird. It's too white. It's just all the wrong stuff. And I was hoping Michael and Brittany wouldn't fall into this, but they did. Now, this is always changing, so I don't know where they're at this time. But I will say, again, we have to acknowledge that, the system in which we're brought up in under white supremacy makes it very easy for Kyle to convince these two people who we thought were would never go for a plan like this to go for a plan like this and then not go for a plan like this. So we'll see where they're standing. That's why I can't wait for this house split up to happen. And I hope it is done. Well, actually, I don't even know if I trust production to do it at this point, but I hope it's done in a way where it can, because the house is already very divided. The leftovers, I mean, you could have went farther before any of this talk started of even a division, not just a whites only division, but any division, but Kyle is, and you have to get a showmance out. I have no idea why a super fan like Michael, that's where I'm disappointed again, is that you should know that you don't take a showmance. Why would you want to do that? But they're thinking, Taylor has been saying that Alyssa's trying to push a showmance onto to Taylor and Joseph. Now they have this like fomance. So they say, does Taylor like Joseph? 100%. But they have put a stop to their fomance and they're just gonna, they thought it would be entertaining and fun. And I'm sure they like little flirting and they had the tethered together for 48 hours. But Joseph seems to just want to keep it, very game. And what happens outside the house, they'll see. And Taylor seems to be like, okay, but you could tell she was probably like, I would like to make out and stuff. I would like to make out. Yes, sex is a game changer in human nature. Anyone that says I'm not affected by sex is a liar. men, women, everyone in between. There is something about, I mean, I'm sure there is like a small percentage of people, just like how there are serial killers. Maybe there's serial sleepwithers, you know, who they're like, I feel nothing, you know, but it's a game changer. So now that Alyssa and Kyle, and it's known that they've gone to this point, at least by Turner, and Turner told Joseph, and I don't even know if Joseph's told anybody, and I don't know how much people actually know as far as the rest of the house goes. You got to clip them. You got to cut them. You got to cut them. You got to cut them. It is interesting because it's silly, and you can tell there are feelings there, and so it's weird. Joseph Boza says, I think both Taylor and Joseph know a showmance would ruin the game. Could they see how it works in the real world? You bet your ass. Yes. And I think they're seeing how it has affected Taylor, or no, I'm sorry, that has affected Alyssa and Kyle's game. And Kyle, I mean, and Alyssa, just, again, it's, they're clouded by their own horniness and hormones, and they would rather fight so that they can have sex, and they'd rather be alone, and everyone's in their way according to them, and they want it to just be their house. And Alyssa basically, like I said, told the cameras, I just want the game to stop so me and Kyle can go get married. So she is on The Bachelorette, she's on Love Island, she is in some kind of weird Disney movie that only lasts 10 seconds apparently. So the feeds have been a little difficult, obviously, because you're just like, we were doing so much. DGF, thank you for the super chat, says, mention it all, Jolene, mention it all. I will. So, all right. So today, here's some RT. Okay. So today, Brittany, who, if we're going to talk about going off the handle and being loud, Brittany. Okay. Brittany decides, I think I better tell Indy, who feels very comfortable. I think I better tell Indy that she's not so comfortable, because I think, we've known since the beginning of the game, and Michael's known this too, that Brittany might be a little bit of a liability, because she can come up with things and tell people stuff, and she gets messy. She's a messy player. She really is a messy player. Okay. And I mean, within like a couple days, she was like, maybe I should tell everyone I'm a hypnotist. Maybe I should do that. Should I tell everyone I'm a hypnotist? I don't know. Maybe I should tell Michael. Who should I tell? And you're like, Brittany, okay. No, you don't need to tell. And now she's hypnotizing people and feeling good. She hypnotized Alyssa, which was so weird because Alyssa was lying on the floaty, on the 10-second sex floaty, while Brittany was hypnotizing her with the same pink blanket they had sex under. And Brittany had no idea. She's like, this is fun. And I was like, oh, and I did want to show you guys something that I always, you know me, I pick up on the little things. So if you're grossed out by things, I'm warning you right now. I'm just going to warn you that this isn't going to be the video for you. Okay. I'm going to show you guys a little clippy. We're going to do a little fair use commentary on this. Okay. Let me just stop the screen real quick. So I'll get back to what's going on today with Brittany and Indy and Brittany talking, but let's see. Okay. So like I said, Alyssa and Kyle were in the, oops, not that one. They were in the bathroom, grabbing butts, kissing, just smooch. I love you. Everyone's in the way. Let's go to the bedroom. Remember the whole, I don't have a comforter. I don't have a, sheet. She must be washing the stuff. So then he grabbed his own. So they're walking over to, and this is right before this is when Kyle looks at the mirror and he goes, my dick's out. So here they go. He's walking and they're like, let's go cuddle. Let's go see what's up. He's kind of touching his nose a little bit and, they're walking and then the camera goes here and, there's Alyssa and she's like, okay, I'm going to drink some water and I'm going to go in the room in my crop top and then we'll make out. He's like, okay, babe, sounds good. And then he starts digging for gold. The minute she turns her back, he starts digging for gold. Like a little kid. And every time, every season, BB Canada, Moose was a chronic nose picker booger eater. He not only picked it, he munched it, okay? So he starts going to town. He's getting really in there. I mean, to the brain, to the window, to the back of the wall of his brain, okay? till the cerebellum dripped down his balls. Like, it was bad. They're about to cuddle. I mean, this is why we got a pandemic. This is why we got all the pox, because, and then what did he do with it? This stuff fascinates me because it's like a nightmare to me to be living in a house with people who are just picking their nose 24/7. So they're smooching, and he smelled it. Okay, he smelled it. I don't know if he flicked it. He smelled it. Okay, and he's back up there, and then she comes back out, and he was like, "Oh, I was just pointing to you. I just was flicking my nose." You guys saw it was up there, right? So then he goes in. She's like, "Come on, baby." And well, first he goes over here. Let me just tell you, they end up in bed together. He didn't go to the bathroom. He didn't wash his hands. They were holding hands. They were smooching. He comes right back in. She's like, "Lay down." He brings his comforter. And then they are, soon after, he's caressing her arms with his hoodie up with the same hand that he picked his nose with. I can't. Okay, I won't show you anymore. But those are things, if you follow my channel, you know that I talk about the stuff other channels aren't going to talk about. Okay? And probably for good reason they don't talk about this stuff. But it fascinates me. Okay? Yes, and Jess is in the chat. Shout out to Girl Let's Agree to Disagree. Said you forget the cameras are there. He forgot. When he wiped it on Alyssa. He whoever smelt it, dealt it. Whoever picked it, flicked it, And it was, it was bad. It was real bad. Okay. Ask Chell if that's a big of a deal. Booger hands is a big deal. My husband is very conscious of cleanliness since he works at a hospital. Like, once the pandemic hit, he was showing me how to like really wash your hands to get under nails. Like when I first started getting acrylics, like now a lot of these are my nails because they're smaller, but when I had really long nails, they were acrylics, and it honestly grossed him out because he's like, "Do you know how much bacteria?" He'll tell me all the time, "You know how much bacteria is on that? You know how much is in this?" And I'm like, don't tell me. So maybe that's why I'm so fascinated. So, because I remember I got my nails done, and the guy who did my nails, when I got long ones, he was like, "Oh, your husband's gonna love it." And then Chell picked me up, and he didn't love it. It was like, there's so much bacteria in there, because he works in the healthcare industry. He knows how dirty the hands and stuff are. So I don't even know if I can tell him this. He might. No, he is a hand washer, that husband of mine, which has made me a hand washer. Do we do gross stuff? Yes, of course. But do I do this and then go wipe it on my husband? I don't. And I think that's the key to it. So there he is again, just spreading boogers on a crop top. I'm sorry. I know that this isn't important to some people, but it's important to me because that tells you what we're dealing with. Okay, so back to today. All right. So moving on from the booger picking. I'm just happy he didn't eat it. So far, I haven't caught him eating it like Moose and BB Can 10. And I'll never forget the many times I saw Moose eat his boogers. And I'm like, why? You're such a handsome man. Why would you do that? Okay. So Brittany, a little off the chain Brittany. She's going to tell Indy. She's going to say, "Hey, I just want you to know, are you sure you got the votes?" And Indy's like, "I feel pretty good. I don't know why anyone would ever evict me. I am great. I am perfect." In Indy's eyes, she's like, "I've done nothing. People don't have a reason to evict me. I have the numbers. Joseph loves me. He would never vote me out." Chell is in the chat. "You're not supposed to be listening to spoilers." He said, "I came to say that I hated the nails because A, bacteria, 2, Jolene was adverse to washing dishes because she could A, hurt herself, and B, break a nail." That is true. That is true. And look at one of my besties, Jacob's Canvas, in the chat. Chell, Jake's here. He says, "Hi, Chell." Hi, Charlie. Yeah, I have a brush that I use for underneath my nails now. And even like when you do your makeup and stuff can get under your nails because I had really short nails for a long time. So anyways, so Indy, okay, is, she's like, no. And Brittany's like, "Why, you sure you have numbers?" And she's like, "I think I do." So then it turns into, we better gather the troops because Brittany thinks Jasmine is going to throw her under the bus. Somehow Jasmine's going to twist this into it's Brittany's fault, which I guess maybe, but like it's Wednesday. Like, why right now do you feel like you have to make this? Could be very messy. So Brittany's going around and she's telling Indy, and Indy's like, "I don't understand why people would vote me out. I haven't done shit." Okay. Like I'm a good person. I make a Sprite cake that looks like, a bleeding uterus. I'm fine. I am fine. Okay. So Brittany rallies the girls and Michael to talk in the have not room. And right before Michael gets there, Brittany makes sure other people are around, and she asks Indy about whether she's in another alliance. Are you in any other alliances? And Indy's like, no, never. And even Jasmine's like, nah,
Indy wouldn't do that.
she wouldn't. And knowing Brittany knows about the 5 shitters alliance, or the 5 squatters, or the 5 scatters, or the 5, I call them the 5 shitters. Okay. So she knows about this. So she thinks later when she talks to Michael, well, should I mention that in my goodbye message to Indy that I knew about that alliance? And that's why? Should I do that? So Brittany's doing a lot. So she rallies the girls, and she's just like, well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what is Jasmine saying? What is Alyssa saying? Alyssa then joins, Jasmine joins, Michael joins, and everyone's like, well, we're just gonna, Jasmine's like, well, I'm keeping you. I'm gonna, but I got to talk to Terrence still. And I got to, I'll try to tell people. I'm trying my best, but, I don't want to be on the wrong side of the house, and it's my birthday. So I don't know. I mean, have you made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? I mean, you did make me pasta, but I don't know. All the while, Jasmine knows she's keeping Terrence. She's told Terrence straight up, I'm keeping you. I'm keeping you. I'm keeping you. But she won't tell one of her number ones, being Indy. And then Alyssa's just like, well, I just have to talk to her. So everyone's like, I have to talk to everyone. And we have to find out what the house is doing. And then Brittany goes, well, aren't we the house, you guys? Shouldn't we? We're the house, right? We're the house technically. And then they're like, I mean, yeah, I guess we are the house. I guess we are the house. So Brittany's making it uncomfortable for everyone because she thinks this is her way of doing some jury management, that she was trying to warn Indy. She can maybe say that, like, I heard about your other alliance, and I thought the numbers weren't on your side, and I was right. So she's definitely trying to throw Jasmine, but all the while she's calling Michael in. And that's making it messy for Michael. And it's Wednesday. You got a whole another day with Indy. And we've seen Indy get very upset about, being a have-not and other things, and the stuff she said about Taylor. So I don't know if I would want Indy out there for a whole day worried about this. Okay. So then Indy has, talks with these guys, and Indy's just like, I just didn't think I had to worry about you women. I thought we were just together, like all the girls. I thought for sure I had the girls vote. Like we were always going to keep girls to the end. No offense, Michael, you're in with us, but like women, because Indy's really bad at playing this game, and she's just saying this stuff, and I'm thinking, oh, that's giving Michael another reason to get rid of you, because now he knows you won't take him to the end. Not that he thought you would, even though Michael's kind of worked on Indy a little bit, but so then she's just like, oh God, I can't. So it's starting to hit Indy. Like, I might have to campaign. I might not be safe. What am I going to do? Like, this is, oh my gosh, I never thought anyone would vote me out. So she says, I didn't think I'd have to do this with you guys. And she's really upset. And then Jasmine replies in the only way Jasmine can. So Indy's like she's figuring out she's going to go home probably on Thursday. And she doesn't even have the girls that she thought she did. She doesn't even probably have Jasmine or Alyssa, And then Jasmine says, well, I didn't think I'd have to do this on my birthday. This is very stressful. It's like, you're not going home. You're not on the blog. But somehow Jasmine found a way to make it about herself today, when Indy was like all stressed out. I was like, that's so Jasmine. It's an action I can see. That's so Jasmine. She will make it about me, her. So Indy's just like, oh my God, I didn't know. So then she starts talking to people she would never talk to, like Turner. She talks to Turner for a while, and Turner's he's good. Turner's good. Turner's like, wow, that's not fire. Yeah, that you're about to go home. No, dude, no. Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm really close to Terrence. He's not. And, but she doesn't ever talk to him. So she doesn't know that, because she hasn't put any time into her relationship with Turner. So he's like, we're like the real festy besties. We're really, it's pretty facts. It's pretty fire. It's like, 101 Dalmatians, both of our favorite movies. Anyway, I'm gonna make him a rug. It says DJ Delusional. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm sorry, it's not facts, not fair. Like, you're great, but you know, just so you know, it's just like that's like my dude. And she's like, I understand. And then Indy tells Jasmine, I talked to Turner. You know, I understand. Terrence is his number one, and you know they're really close. And Jasmine's like, I don't think I've ever seen you talk to Turner before in this house. I don't think I've ever seen that. And Indy's like, I've talked to him. I don't think you don't talk to him. Then she talks to Kyle, and Kyle's just like, I don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, I like you. I love you. I want some more of you, but I don't know. Gotta wait. Do you mind if I talk to you tomorrow? I haven't even talked to Terrence. Everyone's claiming I haven't even talked to Terrence. Terrence is just MIA. And she's like, okay. So she's getting more and more worried. And Jasmine's just like, I can't believe I have to do this on my birthday week. Like, I know you're going home, but I don't even have to think about this. This is bad. Can someone make me a peanut butter jelly sandwich? This water isn't cold enough. This isn't even cold. Can you hold some ice in your hands and like hold it in like this for a little bit? Okay. So Brittany's going around the house. So now I don't even know what's been going on in the feeds because obviously I've been live and then watched the episode, but she's starting to get worried. She still is like, I believe in my soul that I think I'll be safe. I mean, I'm going to talk to Joseph later. And Joseph's like, no, baby. Yeah, baby. We're fine, baby. Okay, baby. And then Michael pulls I want to give Indy a sympathy vote. And I was like, huh? Because Michael and Brittany think that Joseph, I think it's Joseph. Well, they do mention Joseph quite a bit. He doesn't do enough for the alliance. And so they are like, we've done everything. We've done everything. And he doesn't do enough. And he's playing all the sides. He definitely is. I mean, that's kind of his role, but I would say he has brought information back to you guys. And a lot of the things is because Joseph's playing that side of the house. And if anything, this is probably going to burn Joseph once it comes back that he's playing kind of this, even though he's part of this big alliance and stuff, but it is like, you know, I don't want to say rat floater because it's not exactly the Andy Herron game at all, but he's pretending on all sides. However, he is loyal to one side for real, being the leftovers. But he does play that other side like he's loyal to them. So when they find out, and with the votes, they're going to find out. And if people use their goodbye messages, they could disparage him. And once they get to jury and comparing notes, it won't be good for Joseph because they really trust him and they might look at it as not game and they might look at it as a betrayal. They might take it personally because they all kind of have crushes on Joseph. All right. So Michael's like, I'm going to give Indy, I think this could be my jury management for her. You know, I give her my vote. Because there was a time when Michael was like, I think we can pull Indy. I think we can get her over to us. Like if we broke up her festy bestie, you know, we could pull Indy and so he wants to give her. And then Joseph, obviously, you know, if anyone would give her a sympathy vote, it would probably be Joseph to spare his relationship with her. But I think, again, the leftovers haven't been super organized like the cookout was in how they each have like a side piece, for lack of a better term, that they took care of. They have multiples and they cross over and they try to grab this side piece and they try to grab that side piece. And it's just very, very messy. Okay. So that was something that I don't think is going to go over great. That was divulged today with the rest of the house or the leftovers that Michael wants. I mean, maybe they'll let him. I don't know. It's a little weird. I just am like, okay. But that's, you know, there's a lot of talk of jury management. Even Jasmine's talking jury management. I mean, girl, you haven't even been loyal to your loyals. You're not even giving any like votes to your people. You're just, bye. I can't vote for you. Oh, bye to you too. Bye to everybody. I gotta vote with the house. So I don't know. Brittany's also been saying that. So as I described, that chaotic behavior by Brittany of just deciding, granted, you are your own player in this game, but she decided to just go and be like, I'm going to go, what could have exposed all of, or some of her alliance members like Joseph, because when she was going to Indy, she told Indy, well, that's not what Joseph told me. So I thought, oh my God, Indy's going to blow up and she's going to be like, oh my God, Joseph is going to vote me out. Indy was going around the house like, Joseph would never, he wouldn't touch me. No way. He would keep me forever. He's my baby. No way. And Brittany's like, wow, that's not what he told me. And then walking away, she's starting fires and then kind of walking away, making people, which can be very interesting, obviously, to watch. However, then she's saying that Taylor's HOH was too chaotic. And she thinks it might have went to her head a little. And I'm like, huh? What? And one of the reasons was because Taylor's sitting on her bed when I believe Brittany said she would sit on the couches and the chairs more, be with the people, be one with the people. Taylor sitting on her HOH bed looking a little too Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake for her. And I'm like, where is this coming from? Is this again that kind of mob mentality in the house where if they're going to move over to this Kyle and Alyssa Wonder Bread alliance, they have to then vilify their opponents to make it personally, to make it make sense for them, to make them feel okay about attacking people who trust them? Because Taylor, she still trusts Brittany as far as I know, and she's pretty open with her about stuff and telling her stuff. So let's see. What other notes did I have here? Lay's Potato Chips is Team Taylor, you guys. Lay's Potato Chips has been tweeting that they are Team Taylor, #BB24. The official Lay's Potato Chip account is saying that. So they said they're Team Taylor. And then today at 6:01 p.m., I think it was probably Eastern, they tweeted, us every Wednesday, only tuning in to see our girl Taylor. So, I mean, that's, get it, girl. Get that Lay's sponsorship. It is happening. It's coming. It's all happening. All right. And then the quote that I told Chell earlier was Taylor to Brittany, again, opening up because they had this relationship that I was like, oh, they have such a good friendship. This is so nice to see. And they're coming together after being on the bottom. And then the minute Brittany thinks Taylor might be a little too big for her britches, she's ready to just push her down and say, how dare you sit on your bed? Okay. So it's just like, oh my God. So this is Taylor still opening up to Brittany. And again says, I'll never forget Kyle telling me, what if we are just eliminating a really nice girl? Who gets the benefit of just being a really nice girl? It's not me. It's not people in this game like me. And then Brittany's like, yeah. Like I said, Brittany did get Indy in front of all the girls to hear that, they're undecided still. Okay. And Michael wants to give the sympathy vote. This was a good tweet. Michael was saying that Taylor doesn't get to tell them who the target is after switching targets so many times. But fact check, the alliance changed Taylor's target from Terrence to Indy to Alyssa. So, and that's something we saw kind of on the episode of, it seemed like Taylor was more chaotic. I mean, the strategy definitely hasn't been the best on this HOH, but I would say the chaos has been all throughout the leftovers. Okay. And so that's kind of what we have going on here in the house. I think we're already over 2 hours. You guys, I've had so much fun with you. I look forward to seeing if anything blew up. Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you. So Kyle, he was doing last night, or I think, yeah, it was last night, the talking to the cams, which he does. He does his little updates, his little cliff notes, if you will. And he was talking about his tweets and that he doesn't know what he has out there since 2012. which then I think made people go look at his tweets. And I don't know what they found because they found Jasmine's old Twitter that she thought was gone. So I'm just like, okay, Kyle. And then he was, just trying to explain his moves to the cameras. And, he was telling us like, Taylor wins HOH. Alyssa's pissed and jealous that I'm embracing her. She verbally goes, that's enough. And everybody on the sideline hears her. For someone to say that in her shining moment, come on, Alyssa. And he's basically like, I can't keep, sticking my neck out for Alyssa. He says this when he's talking to the cameras, giving his cliff notes. He says that Joseph is was trying to talk him into, I think this was like a day ago, obviously, was trying to talk him into putting up Alyssa. And Indy is probably the number one threat to his game, which was his argument. And Terrence was the sole vote to evict him. So he was like, there's no way in hell I'm using that veto. Alyssa isn't a threat. And then after he talked to Turner, he was explaining to the cameras that Turner really wasn't down. Turner wants to ride to the 7 and then to the 4, which is the pound, and then to the 2. And then Kyle said, dude, it's not going to work like that. But it's like, you're so insulated, Kyle. You're so insulated. These moves are so stupid. You're so insulated. And you're insulated. And then he said, let's assume Indy goes home. Then there's 3 of them, Alyssa, Jasmine, and Terrence, outside of, the leftovers. Best case scenario, one of those 3 wins it. They put up Monty and Joseph. Second scenario, I win HOH and I take that shot. So again, you got the showmance, and despite all these red flags with Alyssa, and despite her not being good for his game and him not being good for her game, he's still going to risk it all. So, let's see what you guys are saying, and then we'll wrap it up. Yeah, Kyle has some shady friends on Twitter. See, I don't even know what people polled on his Twitter. I haven't been paying attention to that. So if someone can link me to that, that'd be awesome. Taylor should have taken advantage of this HOH, Miss Angelin is saying. She will definitely be in that eviction chair again. I hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised. Let's see. Daniel called Monty out in front. Okay, you guys might be talking about other things. It would be so surreal if you ever played Jolene. Oh, the song? I would get a copyright infraction or strike or whatever. So, yeah. He was talking about getting rid of old tweets, Jolene. I think producers gave them a lecture. Yeah, about BB Twitter. It feels like it because some of their responses, it's like, are you reading Twitter? Do you see what's going down? So he's basically like, I hope I didn't say anything that's going to hurt people's feelings. And I hope I don't have too many tweets out there. But like 2012, I haven't really looked at it since then. And I don't know. And I'm just like, that actually would have been hilarious. Taylor should have tethered herself to Kyle and watched Alyssa meltdown. She would have. This week's game is going to explode. Yeah. After this eviction on Thursday, I'm so excited for this twist. Thank you, Dave, for the super chat. Michael's best move would be get closer to Taylor, distance more from Britt. That's a power duo with Michael and Taylor. They were my initial final 2. They were my hope. I thought those 2 together, powerhouses. And she really likes him and she really likes Britt. I'm sure some of that might be fading a little bit if this stuff is getting back to her at all. But Brittany she's got liability, a lot of liability issues. She's doing the same thing she did early on. But now when she leaked that, she leaked that, Amira was talking about Pooch, remember? And then Amira went and told Pooch. I think that's how it went. And then she was like, oh shit. She fell to the ground. She's like, in the food storage room. And then it actually worked out for her. She thought, because Pooch went home and told Amira, she's like, maybe that wasn't bad after all. So then she doubled down and decided, I'll just keep being messy. Okay. Yeah, I'm nervous and excited for this little twisty poo, but I'm here for it. Yes, we had a 25K celebration with Jess from Girl Let's Agree to Disagree, and also obviously from BB21, Sarah from Nerdtainment, Busy Blue from Busy Blue, and also Girl Let's Agree to Disagree, and Josh from Couch Potato Queen. So if you haven't watched it, watch it. We had a fun little panel. I think it was Sunday. To just celebrate and just like kiki about the game. Joleen, you're awesome. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Those bangs. When they got done with their party tonight, Alyssa deleted all of the pictures with Taylor and Kyle. I'm sorry, that's creepy. That is creepy. This girl, it frustrates me to no end, especially when I see young women falling into this. And we talk about this a lot on this channel. And I know that it's a lot of, conditioning and, women being competitive is kind of ingrained in us, unfortunately. But stop the madness. There's got to be a time where we just like, hello, she's not even trying to get you. You have to be more secure with yourself. You have to a woman can never steal your man. A man can leave. And then if he leaves, he wasn't worth a peanut butter bean biscuit in a barn. He wasn't worth half of a cow horse hoof. Okay? So we just have to, you don't know this guy. You're already in love with them. You hate Taylor because you ain't Taylor. You hate her because she's beautiful. You hate her because she's confident and walks around and is okay in her body. She's in pageants. She's poised. She's all these things. These are, again, when you see a boss bitch, don't hate, take notes so that you can be like, okay, how do I get more bossy? Okay, there we go. That is some boss moves. Women take notes from one another. People in this game take notes from one another. Team up with someone that you can learn from. You can cut them later. But yeah, I know. Miranda's actually doing great, Frosty. She was in our chat on Saturday. She is raising 2 small children because her little boy was born in January. And then she has her little daughter, and they're so cute. And so she's just busy mommying, So she took this summer off of Big Brother, obviously, because that's a lot. Yeah, they're in love. They're not in love. There's no way. Thanks, Amanda. That's so sweet of you. Yeah, Miranda's killing it. She's got a beautiful family. They moved. She's just doing all the good stuff. So we miss her, and we hope that she'll be back next summer. But again, she's still gonna have 2 small kids. I had my niece and nephew for a month, and I could barely do streams. So I don't know how you parents do it. I don't know how people expect parents to go to work, have a life, have this, have hobbies, whatever, because it is a lot. But again, excited for this twist on Thursday and see what happens. As of now, this house is crazy, but it looks like Indy's going. So Terrence will stay. Indy, I think, being the first person in jury, I think she's going to take it pretty hard. I wouldn't be surprised if there's more tears. She was crying a little bit today. She can't fathom leaving. She's just like, I am amazing. I'm great. I'm the entertainment. They're always speculating who's America's player, who's America's favorite, who's this, that. And I think Joseph or someone was telling Indy, you're probably, or was it Michael? Was it Kyle? It might've been Kyle who's telling me, you're probably like, yeah, when they're having talks, like, are you voting me out? And he's like, whenever anyone says, well, I got to go talk to the house, or you're going home, you're going home, for sure going home. And Kyle was like, yeah, I'm sure the audience loves you. There's probably all these memes with you in the costume. She's like, I hope so. And I'm like, awkward. Yeah, I've seen a meme of her, and it was her and Jasmine as the evil stepsisters to Taylor's Cinderella. So Cinderella. Yeah, listen, you're gonna make extra $25K allegedly in jury. You're gonna be just fine. All right. And you get to chill and what else? Divide the showmance. That's what I'm telling you. Like I told Chell, if I was in this house, the minute I saw a showmance, I'd be like, I've heard people say before, I'm the showmance slayer, and then they get in the damn showmance. No, I would make sure anybody gets the slightest chub, I'm cutting it off. I'm done. We're getting rid of it. Oh, you're a showman. You're both going on the block. One of you will go home. We're going to get rid of it. If it doesn't work and it's the end of my game, then there you go. Then I went out, taken out some cringy CBS sex on a floaty. Okay. And I will wear that with honor, but I would never play with a showman. I wouldn't even be friends with the showman. Now, have I enjoyed watching some showmances? Of course I have. Of course I have. Do I enjoy doing comedy about them? Yes, of course. So is there a necessity for my commentary? Yeah, sometimes, for sure. But if I was playing, once it's penetration, the plays are different. Penetration changes the players. Okay. So there you go. So I'll be back tomorrow night after the episode for a live. We will have fun. Hopefully we'll see what's going on with this twist, and hopefully it's going to be crazy wild and a good time. If you guys don't already, please follow me on social media. I'm posting a lot of my stand-up comedy clips and fun things that you won't see here on this channel usually. Over there, Instagram at Joleen Lunzer, TikTok at Joleen Lunzer, and Twitter at Joleen Lunzer. So it's pretty easy. Thank you to all those who already follow me. I think we hit over 5,000 followers on Instagram, which is super awesome. And I've been trying to post stand-up reel clips for everybody. And yeah, it's been a good time. Thank you for the super chats, you guys. Thank you for those of you who joined the Lean team here on YouTube. I did pin the link for that. For my membership that I have on YouTube. I also have a Patreon, Venmo, Cash App, if you feel so inclined. Otherwise, just smash that like and subscribe. I appreciate all of you so much. I can't wait to geek out with you some more about Big Brother tomorrow night. But until then, remember, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Good night, everyone, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. Bye. If you like what you